how he talk. And I'm stealing his phrase, let him on his way. I'm letting people on their way from now on, bro. People being let on their way.
Man,
Come here trolling them, I have to let you on
yeah.
your way.
Oh, you probably
You
got a
don't
language
understand.
barrier,
I gotta
right?
let you on your way. You know what I'm
It
saying?
just
But
it sound he's a really direct person, which I'm
yeah,
okay with. Like I'd rather
yeah,
somebody show me what it is than to lie to my face, like at least you know what you're gonna get from Turkey Alashikh. You're gonna get what he feels like.
right.
He's gonna tell you what's on his mind, and that's all right. And when you're working in a room with that much money, that's good, man. Transparency is right there. He's not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the Tim Zoo situation. It doesn't sound like Tim Zoo has talked to Turkey. It sounds like his team.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
miscommunication between the
Mm-hmm.
teams.
You
So it
can
sounds
tell
like
when he's mentioned like I like what he doing, but I have a management and everything run through them. So
yeah,
if it's been any
exactly.
communication, it definitely ain't been Tim Zoo. He talked about it. He did a what was it, Fight Hype? Did a little
Mhm.
interview I was watching before I came up here. He was talking about it. So he sounded like he's willing to work with him. But he threw out there like that's stand out to me. But my team, like, and they might want to work a certain way. He might, you get what I'm saying? That might
Yeah,
be
exactly.
conflict right there. Who knows? But he
Yeah.
did post that he was willing to reconsider the Tim Zoo situation because of the miscommunication of some sort that
What up,
took shape. But then
Detroit,
he turns
DC?
around. He turns around and he says
I will
this.
not work with Temzi.
Well, what happened?
Let him in his way. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to work with him, because
Yeah, you think he's being a little sarcastic too, like dramatic?
It
He
probably,
kind of had that
probably.
little chuckle there too about it, like
Because he was smiling as soon as he said it. I would not
yeah,
work with
yeah,
Tim
yeah.
Zoo. I'm like, what are you smiling about? He already on some BS. But again, if you're gonna deliver some fights that we wasn't able to see because of you able to kind of spark the fire, shake the room up a little bit, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with
Mhm.
it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I like it. But
The
um
the good thing that he does though, he's not getting between the networks. Like the last event I saw, you could have bought it on any platform, Top Rank,
yeah,
Amazon, DAZN, wherever those guys were coming from. He
yeah,
allowed the platforms in on it, which was good, man. Because like I thought he was more pro DAZN, but
right,
he showed his hand. Like I'm not pro DAZN. Like I got PBC fighters. It's gonna be on Amazon Prime to buy. So if you support PBC, then go buy Amazon Prime. So I thought that was really good that he did that, man, because the network battles are so crazy out here too sometimes.
right,
And
right.
he just put that all out the window and said, "Okay, everybody can get a shot, a little piece of the pie."
Jay Tonic, I say the rapper. He said South Africa in the chat, the motherland. Shout out to South Africa,
South
salute
Africa,
family.
yeah.
First Havoc, my guy, was good with it, bro. Says the smirk on his face, right? And when we gonna see Keith Urban back in the ring? Yeah, them injuries took a toll on him, man. Them things hit him like a
Yeah.
ton of bricks. And if you ever my bro had the opportunity to talk to Keith Thurman, and that conversation I didn't get to hear, but he had put me on to some of the things that he was able to talk to him about. And I don't know if you a person that's listening to try to get game and understand, or some people just got their criticisms. Oh, he injury prone, he need to retire. I don't want to see him. I don't
Mm,
care. He ain't did nothing lately. But when you get to talk to him and you hear that man break down how stuff just shit happened to him and how injuries ain't something that he wanted to be a part. Obviously, he don't want to see
right.
him being inactive. He a fighter. This is
Yeah.
what he do. He get paid to do. When you really start to hear the story and you change, you kind of have a difference of opinion, right? Like, all right,
Mhm.
this is how unlucky this dude is. And this
Yeah,
is
man.
something people didn't
Yeah.
know. This is Luke Gel, no big fight were delivered. Not yet, it's still early. That's why I say the jury is still out on him. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Melon Clean. Appreciate you. This
Yeah,
this
man.
is the thing. I remember it was a while back when it was some questions whether or not Keith Thurman was gonna fight. Who was it? Earl Spence at the time or somebody? And it was a lot
Mhm.
of news. People was dropping it, and I was telling them like, I know Keith Thurman not fighting for sure. People like, how you know? And I'm like, my bro done talked to him. This is how
Mhm.
unlucky this dude is. And then he was out on his exercise bike, riding his bike, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dude goes to throw his hoodie up, like
Mhm.
his hoodie up over his head. And in the process of doing it, he look up, run smack dab into a pole, bro.
Jeez.
Swells and shit all up, all kind of crazy. But they out here releasing news talking about he about to fight. Whole time my man talk to his peoples, put him on the phone. He's sitting there, this shit swollen and telling the story, shit all fucked up. But people like, yeah, Keith Thurman about to fight such and such with dates and everything. So it was funny, man. But nah, that dude, you'll respect his story though, because you'll understand. And then I go a bit further, just look at when he's in the ring. You tell me a boring Keith Thurman fight you seen?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody
Yeah,
that actually whooped his ass in the ring. Pacquiao didn't do that. You see what I'm saying? If it wasn't for that slow start and him taking shit for granted, he probably would have won that fight. But
that first knockdown was hard for him to come back
the
from.
difference. I was like, man, he fought back strong too. I was like, man, Keith Thurman is a hell of a fighter. But I know it's easy to give up on these dudes, right? When you ain't seen them in a while, but I just can't do it like that, right? When you in the ring, you give me my money's worth, right? It's worth sitting up to watch Keith Thurman fight. I ain't never seen a boring one. So say what you want. Even in defeat, he entertaining. So I mean, press conferences, talking shit with that lip. Bring that shit back to boxing, Keith. I remember what you do.
Don't
Be
duck
free
me,
with it,
son.
my guy. You know what I'm saying? Bring that shit back to boxing. I like to have fun with this, man. Keith Thurman was an entertainer, and he knew how to be entertaining. He was gonna talk shit. He was gonna try to knock you out. You know what I'm saying? More times than not, he was getting you out of there. That's how you had the name one time. But
I think Al that was one of Al's first guys. Like I think Keith Thurman opened up the PBC like the first free card. He was their headliner, and then pretty much he was gonna open up the prime, like the prime card. He was supposed to open that up. So I think Al's got a lot of love for Keith Thurman because Keith obviously has done well in his career, and like you said, he's always entertaining, always makes the fight exciting. Like he's not boring. So he's the perfect marketing tool for any promoter because he's got a mouthpiece too. So yeah, we miss Keith, man. We don't want to say it, but if you add Keith in the mix of 54, this division it's just that much interesting.
I'm telling you, especially healthy. If you can get him healthy, I know, and it's hard seeing that because of how consistent he's just been out of the mix. But I'm telling you, man, it's pros and cons. Part of that could be rust and ring rust and things like that from the inactivity that you got to deal with. But maybe a body that's been susceptible and prone to injury, maybe you gave it a time to relax, rest. Maybe you know what I mean. Maybe with the right kind of training. And I think that's probably where he at too. You at a point where you're not young no more, dude.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm not saying I know it all, but I'm just throwing some things out there. Like you be hurt, and then you try to go get back to it, and next thing you know, you tweak something else. Maybe you gotta approach training camp, man. Switch your regimen, change something up, make a change. Even in diet, you know what I mean? Get your body right, something, right? You know what I mean? Make sure you really, getting your body in tip-top shape. You know what I'm saying? And not just going out there and killing yourself in the gym. Like, make sure you ain't just working hard, but you working smart too. Ain't nothing wrong working hard, but at a certain point, it has to be smart. You know what I'm saying? You got to be intelligent about it. Or you gonna burn out, and you just not that same young guy. So you gotta be smart with it. Ant McQueen, my guy, what's good with it, Professor?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
What's going on, Ant?
What's going on, Ryan? How you feeling, man?
Good, man. I'm good. Enjoying life, brother. Got the kids home for summer. Hopefully they'll be gone soon, though.
My God.
Yes, sir.
Keith and Lubin, good fight. Yeah,
and all too well.
Fight with Keith is good if he can be healthy, bro. That's where I'll be at with it. I just don't be mad at these fighters. I never forget the first time I heard somebody go off on Keith Thurman for being hurt, bro. I was mind blown. I was like, yo, hold on, let me get this straight. You mad at this dude because he got hurt? Not because he lost a fight, not because he lost you money, not because he went out there and just had a bad performance, because he hurt. Yeah, get Keith Thurman out of there. He injured. He always hurt, man. Get him out of boxing. I'm like, damn, bro. Y'all are tough to please, bro. Like, what part of this is how he eat? You don't see Keith Thurman everywhere promoting and doing all this other stuff. I'm not in his pockets, but I'm just saying, like, this is how he eat. So you think he want to sit on the sideline? And that's the conversation that my bro was able to have with him. And it just give you a different understanding of him. You like, yo, some people just got shit luck. Sometimes you get in your own way too. Like I said, what kind of luck is it that you ride? You out there exercising, you flip your hood up.
Yeah,
boom.
man.
So that's some shit that happened in a cartoon, bro. And here you go, Keith Thurman is happening to him in real life. So he just been an unlucky guy.
Snake bitten, if you will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Some people just prone that way. And then the other thing with Keith Thurman too, since he's been fighting sporadic, we tend to forget that this guy only got one loss on his record,
Right.
a split
Yeah.
decision. That
That's true.
we Keith is he's been getting his ass whooped left and right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I got one loss, and if you really go back and watch that fight, you know, maybe there should have been a little bit of controversy there. We've seen fights that were far less competitive than that one
Mm-hmm.
be deemed a robbery. That was a
Yeah.
pretty damn close
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. Keith did a lot in the back end of that
Like,
fight.
Jeff Horn could pull off one. Shit, man. You know, Jeff Horn snuck one in the back door. Shit, keep
Yeah, he did,
a hell
man.
of a fight down the stretch. Man, he
Oh,
still
yeah.
had the ponytail. His strength was in his hair. You know what I'm saying? He was good.
Mm-hmm.
Big Drake, what it do, my guy?
Crazy thing
Actually,
about that
buddy.
Jeff Horn is like that messed up Crawford because Crawford was supposed to get Pacquiao. Like that would have exploded probably Crawford earlier than us
Yeah.
having to wait. Because
I
guys
always
say
thought
he
Crawford.
beat Jeff Horn and
I always
Green
thought
Machine.
stylistically he would have got Pac-Man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just wrong, but I just that long wiry frame. But I also seen the area where Pacquiao would be successful because he jump in, man, and you know, yeah, that's you see the Gamboa fight when he's fighting a smaller guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pacquiao was levels above that, so I could see some issues there getting caught with some shit. But I always thought Bud had the style to beat a guy like Pacquiao.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
Good.
earlier on when he was boxing and moving. Oh nah, not giving you the looks you want because the way he beat up Victor Postal, people would complain about that today. If he
Yeah.
got in there, he beat somebody up there like that today, they'd be mad. Knockdown, they'd be mad as hell. They'd be mad. He was boxing move. He was just too smart for that dude, man. He was like
Mm-hmm.
2 steps ahead of him the entire way. It was fun to watch. He was whooping his he was beating him to the punch every time. My God, King of the Casuals. Now the duo is complete.
Oh, Remo.
You see, my guy
Yo.
got to put the Yankee hat on in opposition.
Uh-huh.
You got the Subway Series going on.
Okay,
Subway,
I
eh?
see what's going on, a little coordination. Okay.
Yeah, what's
I
good,
see
y'all?
it.
Whole lot of AL East. Oh, 2 AL East in here.
What's
Mhm.
going on, Ryan? How you been, man?
Good, bro. Good. Can't complain, man. Everything good with you down there in NY?
Yeah, we surviving. We surviving. Hot summer. Just what's up, baby?
Yeah, my strength is in my head. You know, that's how Keith was. He got that ponytail. We see how much damage the ponytail did to the hairline through the years. We like, damn, that ain't Keith. That ain't Keith. That's Diamond. That ain't
That's
Keith.
true.
That ain't one time no more. That's Keith.
Yeah,
I
he
turned
definitely got the
money
coming
into
to
a
America cut too. It's like they just clipped the ponytail and that was it. That'd be $8.
Right. I said that's all he did. He just went and sat in the chair. They clipped his hair. He said, "Yeah, that's about it." Hopped out, fighting different.
He looked
You know what I mean?
smooth in
Getting
that Barrios
speed, man.
fight though, man.
Mm.
He looked
Yeah, he
smooth
did.
in that Barrios fight.
Yeah. He rearranged his face. He had him
Yeah.
looking like Squidward no house or something. His face, his nose. He had him looking crazy, bro. The Barrios bad. I like that mic, man. Don't that joint change colors?
Yeah, you know I gotta be extra.
Nah, I need that one. That's the one I want. I'm time to upgrade from this one I got. It's nice, but
just-
this got to go in retirement.
I just
Yeah,
see
but
some fancy shit. I
little
was like, I
touch
want
mic.
that.
I need that one though. Yeah, man. Heck, glad should you be twins or at least brothers. Tell them. Yeah, man. That Canelo fight is. I'm glad Turk don't need to put no money on the table for that because I'm telling you, the ripple effect that it's going to cause is going to be far too negative for me to sit through it. Now I'm going to have to hear how another fighter was hyped after 40 plus wins, 4 divisions. Like, nah, hell no. Crawford ain't this, ain't that. We did that to Mel already. Nah. I don't need to see it twice. I don't think at this stage he can box clean enough without getting wet, swim enough without getting wet for 12 rounds. That's extremely difficult. And he don't move as much as he used to. So to ask him to do it now, it's like asking him to be who he was at 140. Nah, that's not who he was. That's not who he is no more, should I say.
Nah.
I don't know, man. That Madrimal fight, he moved well.
He was.
did, man.
He
What
was.
he do it though? I mean, I just think of him getting hit, man. I see Amir Khan all over again. Like, bro, you do
Yeah,
well
but
like that,
Amir
we
Khan
gotta
got
dive
knocked out
in.
by Breeders' Prescott. You know, we
Yeah.
always got to go through this. Just like
Yeah,
this dude Amir Khan got knocked out by several people, not just Canelo. If it was just like a Canelo thing, then I'd be like, okay, maybe it was an isolated thing, kind of like when Kell Brook went up to 160 and got his orbital bone broken.
Mhm.
Prior to that, he looked pretty sturdy, but going up to
yeah.
160, then he got it broken, and then
And that's why I
dropping
think
back down in weight.
68, your body probably gonna look funny. Because I don't know if people peeped it. Not enough people were saying that Charlo ain't look good to me at 68. I thought I seen love handles on the side. I was like, yeah. That's why you got it's an acclimation process need to take shape. It's just packing on the weight. One camp, I just don't think is enough time to do it. And
Yeah.
Crawford
I
being like
agree.
37, jumping up and putting all that weight on, and it's just performing with it that it just makes me nervous. Like, how is he gonna handle having that much weight on him and fighting this dude that fought at 75? Because if he get a setup fight, man, I'm gonna find Canelo, bro. You can't do that, but you get but we had to see. We already had to see Crawford do EJ like that. It had to be one or the other. You know what I mean? They already sacrificed one. Then we gotta send him up 2 weight classes more. At 37, talking about beat Canelo. This dude that got 60 plus fights.
Let me ask this question though. We keep talking about how because here's one thing too. For the most part, I've seen as far as the power dynamic is concerned, it's been, well, what if what if Bud doesn't hurt Canelo, or he can't hurt Canelo because his power doesn't translate at 168? What happens if Crawford is actually able to take Canelo's power?
Yeah, he can win
We
a
cooking.
decision for
We
sure.
cooking.
What happens then?
We cooking.
Because we've
See, if I
seen
knew
situations like, for example, Marvin Hagler posted a 83% KO ratio. We got a guy in Roberto Duran. Now, Roberto Duran didn't jump directly to 160.
He's a small guy.
He's a small guy who started his career at 135, and he was able to withstand Hagler's power.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that right hand from Thomas Hearns was crazy. One of the craziest one-punch knockouts in history. When Thomas Hearns knocked out Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
And I mean, to a certain degree, I mean, Charlo, although he didn't want to engage enough to get knocked out, he was able to weather taking the shots from him. Like Bud is pretty damn tough, man. He's sturdy. Like I said, outside of that little hiccup against Gamboa, you haven't seen anything close to that. I mean, people stuck on that meme machine shit, but that all that did was get him beat up. Like that's why I think I just overlooked that. He beat him up right after that. Like he just got on his ass. So I mean, if he can take that punch, we cooking. Like it's a real fight. Because that's where my biggest concern is. Can you, with the weight jump this late in your career, with a guy
even if you don't come in at the full 68 though, you got to come all the way up. Come in like 63, 64.
Right.
And he can manage that and then take the power Canelo. He'll still be light enough to, compete with him as far as like movement. Because Canelo now is more of a lumbering. Picks his shots that he wants to really like put on you, and he sits down on almost every shot. When he gets, who he lost to again, he made him box, and he ain't really like this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd made him box.
Yeah, he won't fight. He want no box. And you heard what he said on Sway. I think it was Sway. He said he don't move. He said Crawford don't move as much no more. I said, oh, that's what he for.
Yeah.
I don't know. Crawford might dial back the hands of time a little bit on his ass. Boxing, I'm telling you, if he could pitch out like a postal type fight, man. I know I keep saying that, but it was just so clean and it was surgical at the same time. Everybody don't appreciate that because it didn't result in a knockout. But man, when you talking about outclassing somebody thoroughly, you know you in your bag when you telling the referee, hey man, you see that knockdown? Bud was on his ass in that fight. So he can box and move and again, you're gonna get hit if you can take that shot, man. It's a much different fight for me. But again, that's my biggest concern. Taking that punch, man.
The thing I like about Bud, he got that like that MJ, like he competitor, like he want to win bad, like he wants
That
everything.
makes
He's
me
not afraid to go for it, and I
I
like
feel good
that.
about that, and it make me nervous because it's like you
It
get
does.
clipped by him. Don't just try to get it back. Don't give
Yeah,
him
yeah,
multiple opportunities in a row.
yeah, man.
Salute to my guy Don. Said my light skinned brothers run box and talk.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now
that's
it's time
different,
for you to
yeah.
get your just due.
Shout out to my bro Don.
Yes, sir.
Man, anything is possible, man. But
And he's got the physicality necessary too, man. He's got the physicality necessary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
He's
they
got
are
the
the same height.
physicality.
They are the same height, Bud longer. It's just he dealing with a more physical specimen, I guess, in Canelo, because that's just box him. Yeah, he box his ass, man. Box him because he don't want
And
to
that's even arguable though, Just. That's even arguable though. That Canelo, we just assume that Canelo's the more physical guy, but Bud, we always gotta talk about just the strength of this dude. You see these videos of this dude wrestling people. Richard Torres, the heavyweight, said that he was like 220 plus at the time. He's at Bud's house. Bud randomly turns to him and says, "You want to wrestle?"
Oh shoot!
They start wrestling. He picks this dude up over his head. Andre Ward talked about them wrestling for the first time. He was like, "Hold on, this dude is strong." You seen what he did with Jeff Horn? Like he was just muscling this dude.
Yeah.
The one thing I looked at too, because I was rewatching him versus EJ the other day, and I was noticing in a lot of those spots where EJ was able to lean on Ugas and frame him up on the inside. Every time they got in close, Bud just pushed him off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just completely disrupted his leverage. He wasn't able to get leverage like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, and then here's the thing with Canelo. With Canelo, with that high guard, man. Frame his ass up in spots. That's one thing that Jamel Charlo, I feel like he didn't do enough of. I gotta clip some of these things up and send it to you, but he was using the Shakur. You know how Shakur, and that's one of my favorite things about Shakur when he utilizes the stab, frame up top, shoot the stab with the other hand.
Yeah.
I think it's a comfort thing too with him. I noticed that, and then when he get the more comfortable he is, you'll see that you'll see it. You know what I'm saying? Being in the pocket. I know I expected to see some of that against Artem. He had spots where he was doing that. So I like it, man. I just think with, like you mentioned with Charlo, he just wasn't willing to be physical with Canelo in there.
He didn't do it enough.
He
didn't do it enough.
Comfortable at all. And that's why I say it's just a tall order, man. Like I think he F around and found out. And it was from the outside, watching other people fight Canelo, it looked a certain way. I just think that fast. He don't throw that many punches. He just load up on hooks. And he get tired. You just feel like you got him. And then you get in there and you like, man, where this dude, where the guy at that I was just watching a fight or two ago looking slower, and it wasn't that. And just the look on his face, like he tried to keep a poker face, but you could see the body language was like, I ain't going for it in here because I ain't comfortable. He just was unsettled. I never seen a fighter had to fight like that, a whole fight. A guy that with the reputation of Charlo, now he in here just a whole 12 rounds, unsettled as hell, and wasn't comfortable at all.
That's the other thing about Charlo's reputation, though, man, is when you really go back and watch a lot of his fights, he's never really been a volume guy like that.
No,
he's never really been a volume guy like that. If you really want to keep it real, he fought the same way he fought them other guys. The only difference is at some point in time in those fights, his power was the equalizer. And he was able to turn the tide. Like, look at that that fight that he had with Tony Harrison. First one, he lost the decision. He wasn't able to land that big shot. The second one, I actually thought Tony Harrison fought better in the second one than he did in the first one. But then he had that moment where he was mocking Charlo, ended up getting caught with that damn left hook, and what was that, the 11th round? And it was all she wrote after that. It was the same thing with what's my guy's name? Castano.
Castano was the same. Yep.
Same thing. A lot of people felt like he lost that first fight. He didn't let his hands go a lot. He was languishing on the ropes. It's just that in this fight with Canelo's not a guy that more than likely you're going to be able to just get up out of there with one shot. I don't know. That guy got a beard on him.
Let me ask y'all a question, though. let's say the whole Bud fight was to happen, air quote, right? Would it be in Bud's best interest to actually feel a bit of the power early? Because having to stay away from it rounds down, eventually he's gonna have to engage because he's down on the cards now, being that he's staying away from the power. So would it be his best bet to get touched a little bit and see what's really about? So he has a means to attack, or try to strategically box.
Fight Jaime.
I think it's smarts and him knowing what the power really feel like and getting adjusted to the power might be in his best benefit, because now he could box around the power and know what he want to stay away from. But
you make a good point.
To really leave it to be a question mark 8, 9, 10.
I see your point.
We never seen Canelo really hurt, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Canelo,
to press the gas and then not know what the outcome is going to be because you haven't felt the power going into the later rounds. I don't know if that's the best bet. I go outside right now and he built like one of these New York City fire hydrants. Like the boy sturdy.
We've seen him hurt before. We've seen him hurt before, but we haven't seen anybody be able to really press the issue after they had him hurt.
Complete the job.
Yeah. We've seen him hurt. And then the other thing with Canelo too is Canelo's got a hell of a poker face. He's another guy like Ryan alluded to with Bud, where he's another guy that he wants to win.
Yeah,
he wants to win
without getting knocked out for sure. I'm very comfortable saying that. You're not gonna get him. That dude, man, I don't know what he on, bro, but dealing with Golovkin the way he did, especially once he was used to him after 12, I was like, what is Buddy on? I was like, yo, he really mad. He said, the hell with that. That first fight, I always felt like he lost because he moved way too much. And I feel like in moving that much, you're not nearly as offensive. And you already don't throw a whole lot of punches. So you was neutralizing your own offense with that much movement, because I think he genuinely, I don't know if he read too many clippings or he just respected it, but it was a totally different approach. That second one, man, bro said, man, I don't give a damn about nothing. I'm fighting. I'm going to go right to him, man. It was just a totally different fight. I'm like, this dude on something different, man. Canelo got a hell of a beard, man. He got hurt, Mike Biggs. But again, I always say he was 19 though against Jose Cotto.
Not a rematch with Triple G. I'm gonna send you this clip, Josh. But in the rematch with Triple G, and in the 10th round, them legs got a little funny.
Refresh my memory, bro, because I
know
them
legs got a little funny, man. Them legs got a little funny, but Canelo tough as shit.
Mike Biggs boxing, my bro. What's good with it, bro? See you flicking it up with the chant, man. That was dope. How y'all did a nice little face off, man. That's dope. Wilder is a real one for sure, man. Shout out to my guy Mike Biggs. You're gonna have to push him down. Yo, I'm telling you, gotta clip Canelo in there or something, bro. That dude,
you gotta shoot him.
I said work that body. You don't really see too many people go to his body, and understandably so, because that left hook is serious.
Bring him in range.
Yeah.
Don't hit me.
Right. Y'all, I'm about to head out, fellas. Good burning with y'all, man.
Appreciate
y'all again, man.
Salute, fellas.
All right. Yeah. Canelo has great head movement, so a lot of stuff don't land clean. Yeah, he rolled with punches very well. Good upper body movement still at this point in his career. You can hit him clean, but even when he eat him, and like you said, his poker face is second to none. But I guess when we saying hurt, we gotta really deep dive a little bit. We talk him hurt. All right, hurt where the legs heavy and you see him kind of do a little, that was one time. But with Triple G, I did hear somebody maybe what fight was it? Was it the second one or the first?
Yeah, it was the second one. The second one in the 10th round.
The second fight. All right, bet. I want to see it. So that's what it be. We be looking to see a guy like out of there hurt on his
just completely but you're
not gonna really see that with him. Even with Jose Cotto,
that resume is crazy though.
He still had the wherewithal to kind of protect himself, and then he recovered and then got the knockout. So this dude, you got to beat his ass, man. I believe. Go to his body early and often. And again, when you say that, Ant, you think he don't know that shit? Yeah, he looked like he revisited the fountain of youth because he in there with people that's not going to consistently be an issue and go to his body. What is David Benavidez more than likely going to do when he fight him? There's
he's going to the body.
Where he fights him and doesn't go to his body. And I'm talking about both sides heavy. He dig with his shots. That's just a longer arms, stylistically throwing a lot of punches. That's not somebody he want to fight. I don't think it's that he think he can't beat him. It's just I ain't taking that challenge. Like that's a risk that he might could lose. You know what I mean? Look at the frame, the size. Then you look at the Bevo and how Bevo beat him. Man, Benavidez could implement some of the same things. Not they don't fight alike, but I could see it. He throwing with a lot more intent behind his punches, bro. And I know he would want to hurt Canelo. I know it. I know it. He'd fight like his life depended on it. That's why I want to see that fight. But I just know it's a thing of the, it's a fantasy fight at this point. It's sad.
If Bud implemented that Caleb Plant style with a little bit more in the tank, Plant could have walked away with that.
Hell yeah.
He was doing so good, but he just ran out of gas. And then
both losses is because of what? Canelo caught him because he kind of ran out of gas. And I always say Canelo made a slight adjustment and how he was, I think it was that hook where he placed it at. He caught him because Caleb was still trying to, but he threw it high. He threw it at the one open and then clipped him, I think, high on the head, and shot. His equilibrium was shot after that. But I think his gas tank led to him being in that position. And then you look at the Benavidez fight, how well he fought 5-6 rounds, and then how you seen the drastic turnaround. Like, you just know that's something with him, man. I don't know what it is because he got every muscle you need. He looked like he worked hard as hell. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He hit a wall after 6. Slow down.
Even in his dubs, man. Like that fight against Uzkateki, like he started.
Yeah, getting touched late.
Caleb Truax.
And
then he came out first half of them fights. That dude was looking untouchable. First half.
I like that's one of my favorite fighters, low key. Caleb Plant. I genuinely enjoy watching him fight because if you really watch him, if you just bullshit aside, because people stuck on power, he ain't the biggest power puncher, but I don't think he no pillow fisted guy. That dude,
hell no.
Man, it's not even just a knockout over Darrell. It's how he set it up. Yeah, I'm like, this dude really nice, man. He slept on. And Canelo lost to do that to you, man. Sorry, was good with it, fam. J Bean, what up? That same hook on Cash Berlinga. Yeah, man.
He gonna get flatlined.
Too many openings.
Yeah, I think he too green though.
Right, D for the win. I'm with you, bro. He really nice. He really nice out there. Sweet hands. He got the right name. That dude really good fight. And he ain't no hoe at all in the ring, outside. Like
the ring, they got the shit out of you.
Caleb out here, you know what I mean? He with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he blasted Darrell. And I think if he had power, I know that was about more than just power, placement, timing, setup, all that stuff. He didn't see it, but man, that had some power behind it. He cleaned his ass up.
And the fact that he actually drove that shot, how often do we see that from Caleb Plant, where he'll just literally, plant his feet, no pun intended, plant his feet and throw that shot. He planted his feet and doubled up with that left hook. More often than not, you see him, he's hitting it and he's on the move.
Yeah.
You don't really commit to his shots like he.
Yeah. I think that's what it be with a lot of with a fair amount of these guys that people don't think can really punch like that. It's just their style, like they're get theirs and get up out of there, so they ain't planting their feet. And when they do, you see the results. You know what I'm saying? That dude is talented as shit, man. That's the biggest knock, I think, the gas tank.
Yeah, he's good for the sport though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a good name. He give you good competition. Everybody can't be undefeated, man, at this point in time.
Yeah.
But
I hated seeing them lose too.
Yeah, the thing is, like, can't cancel everybody because some people are good fights for other people. I still want to see him and Charlo, Big Charlo. Like,
me too.
That has to happen. Can I just have that?
Yeah, right.
Fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
The fantasy, there's a lot of fantasy fights in between it, but don't really got to go up nowhere. There's enough bump down where he at. Eventually, the money will come to one of those names, and then he could be legendary, like somebody that has never done what he's could achieve in the sport. But it's gonna be hard as hell in that division because everybody could fight.
Yeah, it's full of it's shark infested waters.
Yeah, the only thing that's lacking from that division is that the two names that make that big marquee mega fight type of dollar with that Buzz looking for. That's the only thing that's missing from that division. Everybody's kind of in the same time frame of even pay. Like they kind of in the same element. The biggest is if Earl come back and looks anything that like what he once looked like, and he'd have to take out one of the big dogs, whether it be Tim Tszyu or Fundora. And now that second fight at the weight class that they both desire makes sense, like for the dollar amount that they both corrado to the sunset with.
Right, that makes sense. Charlo versus Plant on the Tank undercard is what I need, and it's very fitting. It's very fitting. It'll fit right in. I just wish I knew what those damn Charlos was really up to. You know what I mean? One of them, from what I understand, he got his money right, even before that last fight. So I know the rush. It ain't no rush probably, but man, with Charlos back in the game, man, they boxing is better. But if they're healthy, focused, locked in, it's good for the sport. Them twins was kicking ass for a minute, man.
And they good on the mic. And the way they speak on the mic, like that's a lot of what's missing in the sport too. Because
speaking of that, in the Charlos, we hear a lot of criticism, man. But have y'all ever heard somebody say they can't fight?
No.
Have you ever heard it? Let me y'all sit tight. Let me play this short clip for y'all. Let's hear what D Boy. What was his name? D Boy. What's his name? Dale Boy. Derek Chisora has something to say, man. Let's check this out real quick.
Is there somebody else you'd want to see Crawford against?
Who's in his way?
You could see Charlo maybe at 54.
That guy, him and his brother talk too much, man. Those guys talk too much. They can't fight. They all hype, but they talk too much. They can't fight. His brother got whacked by Canelo before, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then they talk too much, bro. They got too much gabbing, bro. They talk too much. If they could talk and fight, yeah, but they talk, but they can't fight. Canelo wants a fighter. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a fighter in Benavidez.
Oh, yeah. That's a good.
They talk, but they can't fight. Man, I just thought that was funny. I ain't never heard nobody say that Charlos can't fight. One still undefeated. Now, I mean, the other one ran through his division. He in a position, if he come back right, he could try it again. But I like Del Boy, man. Listen, Derek Chisora, man, he a damn warrior, but he off on this one, man. Them Charlos could fight, bro. I know they kind of been out of sight, out of mind, but that's boxing. I mean, it ain't gonna always be good. So shit, they both went through something. Charlo, one of them went through some, personal stuff, and the other one, he probably still on the, chill tour. You know what I mean? Rudy Exposure was good with it, but at the top of their game, man, they definitely entertaining to watch, bro.
You're such a nice guy, Jess.
Big Charlo bounce back though, for sure.
You're such a nice guy, Jess. You just said that so politely. Boy, tripping.
You know what I mean?
He tripping. He tripping, man. Yo, he stomped through the whole division the rough way. Like he went through and got each belt the way that you would want your champions to get it. He went back and beat what you call it from St. Louis. Turned around, Tony Harrison took an L to him, went back, got that belt back. Brian Castano fought tooth and nail with him to a draw. Came back, knocked him out. One undisputed, like, what you mean he can't fight? That's kind of crazy, man.
You forgot about Jason Rosario. He beat him too. Because remember, Jason Rosario, he beat my guy, man. That still pains me to this day. Yeah, man.
Yeah. J-Rock, after he got knocked out, he was like, oh, like, damn, like, he got hit with some shit. And then, like, to say that the guy can't fight is just blasphemy. Like, come on now. That's just crazy.
Boy tripping, ain't he?
Yeah, I know Justin's such a nice guy, so I'll be the one to say it for you.
Yeah,
he tripping.
He tripping. I like that boy, but he tripping. Them damn Charlo got scrap in him, man. And that's why I said, man, I feel like a lot of what they getting is all piled up into one. They don't know which Charlo is which half the time. They don't know which one to be mad at. One went got the bag. After that, you seen how the reputation really took a hit. His brother was already going through stuff. He was carrying the torch single-handedly by himself. And that last showing just didn't do nothing for nobody. So everybody like, man, that dude is he done.
Well,
So
let's play devil's advocate on that though. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Charlo, I done did a lot of heavy lifting at a division.
Right.
I go get paid finally, and then dudes say I talk a lot and I can't fight. You fault me for that now? That I got paid? It's like I damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I'm gonna go get this bread right about now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because now you're gonna disrespect what I did over a 10-year span and say I can't fight and I ain't do nothing. Come on now. That ain't fair.
That's why I say, man, for me, it ain't no what have you done for me lately. I look at that body at work, and I understand it ain't gonna always be good. So the first time it go bad for fighters, look how we write them off. That's why I said all it took with Keith Thurman to get rolled off was get injured. He ain't even have to lose. The bro got hurt and after a fight, and they start writing him off. Then he took a loss. They really start writing him off. So I don't know. I feel the same about the Charlos, especially with Jamel. I get it. That showing was bad, but it just let me know that his weight class for a reason. He shouldn't have been there, especially under them circumstances. And I don't know. I like how he respond after losses. I mean, shit. He had one prior to that, but look how he responded. The draw, look how he responded. But now he lost the level. Again, let's see how he bounced back. I want to see it. He said he back and the best at 154 is here. I like that. So go get it back. Go get that back.
I feel bad for Thurman though. Now you bring up Thurman. I feel so bad for him because it's like the dude he lost to, right? Now they talking about him against the other guy he beat as well. Him and Barrios. Barrios went on. Keith beat him up, disfigured his face. He turned out to be a champion. Pacquiao ended up losing to Ugas, and then Barrios, man. Barrios is the dark horse in Keith Thurman's whole situation. But the fact that he kind of teetered between the, not going up and being adamant that he wanted to stay at 47, all the 47 names kind of aged out and have gone up. So it's like, all right, him coming back off of injury. We never seen him at 54. 54, dangerous as hell. He's inactive. He's been injury prone. Where do you place him? Like, what do you do? What is his entry? I don't even see a safe entry point at 54 for Keith right now. Anybody in the top 10?
Yeah, it ain't safe. 54.
I ain't got a name. I don't got a name. Even that Conwell kid, he's somewhere up there, but he's not a household name. But from what I just seen, to Keith to come back, he's older. He don't know what that tricep, bicep, whatever was torn on him feels like reaction wise. That's not even a safe landing spot for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Conwell is dangerous. I think he's gonna be around. That's the dude that they're gonna try to. I think people gonna try to avoid him. I really do.
Around, yeah.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. I hate the high risk, low reward term, but I can see them slapping that on him. I can see it. I can see it. Maybe
going
not.
At the dude's body, man, that body attack was mean. I'm like, God damn.
Claymore Rain, what's good with it, fam? How you feeling, bro? Yeah. He got
to business.
He got a bag too. He got a bag, and I was talking about it earlier because I heard seen somebody suggest that Virgil fight him. I'm like, yeah, I doubt it. They put him in there with. Just look at his career. Look at what kind of style of fighters that he typically fight, and in what condition. Like, you're not fighting boxers and movers. And like I said, more recent memory when he did. Yeah, he took a while to get that KO. I ain't knocking it, like he still got it, but you could see where those are the type of fights that they don't want him in because he ain't gonna look his best. They want people that's gonna come at him the same way he gonna go at them because that's where they I think confidence lies with a guy like Virgil to outdog you. They feel like they got the biggest dog, but even that shit, you know, that shit comes with a price too. And they seen that this past Saturday. So after seeing that, guy like Charles Conwell, no wonder why when they say something to him about who he would like to fight, he talking about Spence and Fundora. Just look at the styles, look at how each guy fight, and then you look at Crawford and see who the odd man out. They like Crawford gonna be a headache for him, I think, and I just don't see them want to go near him.
You better stay away from Lubin.
A problem.
Somebody like Lubin, you better stay
I
away
believe
from
the interim component has something to do with it as well. Because I mean, like, what the hell is the point of fighting for a WBC interim only to not fight the winner of a WBC title fight?
You know, they gotta get rid of the interim.
They do.
Because the interim should be somebody who's inactive. The guy has the belt, but he's deciding what he's going to do with it. The interim, they just making these interims, and then they're not fighting for the full title. They just elevating them, and I don't think that's fair to the next guy waiting in line. Like, if I'm 3, 4, 4, 5, who decides who fights for an interim if it's not the main belt? That's what I really don't understand. And then now the guy walks away from the title, or he drops it, or elevates it to the next division. And he'd be like, all right, you know what? We're going to email you and you're the new champion. That's not how sports goes.
GH was good, bro.
I know. But with Virgil's tough because, you know, Virgil's been deemed to be this from 47. But this in 3 fights, he had 14 rounds total.
Right.
And this is the first time he made, like I was saying earlier, it's the first time he made the full 54. So what do we really know about him at 54? This is his first touch, and it was a rough touch.
Great point. And that's what you got to consider when you making, I think, an assessment on the performance, right? You got to consider that shit. Like, those was 2 layups, those was 2 test drive kind of, you know, test runs, should I say, those first 2 fights at 54. Like you said, it wasn't even at the, you know, 54. It was some pounds away or something like that. And I think they was testing to see what he was, and I anticipated them stepping it up, and they did right on the money. What it was supposed to be Tim Tszyu initially, right? You still had to cut something that was healing, and then Boachuk came in there, and I was like, that's another good fight. So yeah, it is his first real test at the weight class. So I think he did well considering the circumstances. Like, he could have packed it in, shit. He could have got discouraged. That's what I like about Virgil. And I learned that's what I learned about him. If you gonna beat him, you gonna have to beat him. He ain't got no quit in him. Oh man, he's just gonna go. Like, he tired, holding his mouthpiece out his mouth so he could suck in some air. Like, he gonna still go. That dude, he's resilient as hell, man. And I can't wait till he finds some balance with, like, going so damn hard. And you know what? I love reading when a coach or a trainer or something say something that I was saying on the show, and I read Stephen Breadman Edwards his tweet, and
he runs hot.
You see what he said, like how he running hot and just trying too damn hard. Like, you can't operate like that. You'll overheat essentially, and that's what you seen. That you ain't see nobody. You ain't never seen him sucking for no air like that. Yeah, he was sucking for air against this dude. He had moments where he was just vulnerable, but lucky for him, you know, Boachuk wasn't taking advantage of all of my opportunity. When he was leading with his head, just kind of had his head in the center, just laboring and, you know, sitting there with the hands low. I was like, bro, this is dangerous, man. He gotta smarten up. He gotta tighten up. But he finds some balance in between how hard to fight. When, like, he don't go through the gears. There's no in between 0 to 100. That's the epitome of that. Is Virgil Ortiz. He get right in there and it's go. Like, that's it. And it's cool, but I think as you step it up, you got to win more with this than just the physical. And that's where that's where you can see the inexperience with both him and Boots. It's not a knock on them, but you can see it because they still operating a lot off that. I ain't saying they ain't thinking in there, but it's still more physical to me, the approach, than just cerebral, where you just sitting back, figuring it out, letting the fight come to you. Now they go make the fight, they go bring it to you, and that's the way they operate. So I think moving up in competition, that's something that both of them want to be smart with, because I could tell you right now, after seeing both of their last fights, I think they both had a similar problem with Bud. I don't think you can do him that way. I don't think you could fight with him.
More gym time.
I just thought it'd be bad for you. So you gotta use more of this with Terence Crawford.
More intellect and testosterone.
Right.
No, but I think he need more. I think he need more rounds though, just because between these last 3 that he got, right? He lost what, a year or 2 to health,
right?
And then prior to the year 2 of health, he fought one way.
Right, Gertz, my
you know
guy.
What I'm saying? He was really, sparking dudes out. He knocked out everybody. He had 100% knockout rate.
Right.
So like, I think he
always
still
was working. So yeah,
he got some greenery still left in him that he got to get rid of. I think this creativity he's lacking because he had the dude ready to go, where he looked hurt, but he kept pressing straight forward.
Yes.
He wasn't giving him no angles. He wasn't touching him with a jab, leading him up to the power. He was just going for it. And a lot of the stuff that I think he got credited for, when you look back on some of the replays, a lot of that shit was smothered. He was missing the mark on a lot of that. Who was catching a lot of that stuff that he was throwing? It looked good because it was fast and it was hard.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm with you. I think so too.
You just need a couple more. The boots and him in the boots fight. That's the longevity fight right there for them. Let them both get acclimated at 54. They're not gonna need Crawford. That's the big one for their time frame. But they both got things to work on.
All right.
I'll tell you this though, he's a hell of a lot more skilled than I realized he was.
Right.
But there's a difference between, possessing skills and applying the skills. Because when he was moving, when he was boxing, even a couple of those engagements when he was on the inside and he was kind of orbiting Boachuk and moving perpetually around him and stepping around him and shit, I was like, damn, I never seen him move like this. I'd never seen him move as much laterally, perpetually. With him, it's typically you just come in there, high guard, just throw punches. There were a couple of moments where he was utilizing good head movement, pivoting off the line, and just little stuff like that. I think with Virgil is really going to come down to approach and mentality. Those are the 2 biggest things with him: approach and mentality. Same with Boots. You see Boots, like he got all the skills in the book, but a lot of times it's just the approach, man. Like that fight that he had with Karen. There were quite a few times where if he would have been a little bit more patient and just jabbed his way in the range, he would have been able to cut the ring off on Karen. But he was leaving his feet, leaping off his feet, throwing a hook and giving Karen an out. It's like if he would have just closed the distance. And his dad was telling him, just jab your way in. He's just being impatient, trying to catch him with a big shot. So he's just leaving his feet, throwing crazy hooks. And with Virgil, we're seeing the same thing. As you alluded to, Remo, when he had dude hurt, he had even just did a small thing like varied the speed on his shots. Like yesterday, Justin knew exactly what I was talking about when I said Virgil lacked deception. It's like, yo, he throws everything with the same force, same velocity, and then after a certain point,
the same fastball over and over. What's gonna happen? So that's what he got to work on. You notice, not to cut you off. You notice he started down the stretch. Remember, it's like he kind of ran out of ways to get in. So he just said, you know what, I'm gonna box him a little bit more, but it was working. Why can't you have that approach more early on? Loosen your guy up that way and then go through the gears. Don't just, you know what, it ain't no 0. It was 100 as soon as the fight started. You can't sustain that. And like I said, that's the most I've ever seen him blowing in there to get win. He was tired in there, and rightfully so. I was like, I'm not big on fighters that set pace that they can't maintain through the fight. It's very dangerous to do that because when you hit that wall, you leave way too much room for the other guy to be successful. And that, I think the same shit that make him successful is the same reason why he didn't get a knockout and the same reason the fight was close as what it was, just not being creative enough, not going through the gears, punching. You just want everything got to be a fastball. Like you can't approach a fight that way because then when the fatigue settle in, you start to dial it back naturally. Now this dude got more openings, and Boachuk, Ortiz was very relaxed, but so was Boachuk. I seen Ortiz was cool with what he was doing, but Boachuk was kudos to him, man. What pressure? He was in there fighting right back, and he was letting his offense flow in a different manner. That's why he was having success. Virgil Ortiz was getting clipped with shots that he normally don't get clipped with way more frequently because he was just taking way too many chances, being way too aggressive, and you can't do that. You just can't outdog everybody. That doesn't need to be the situation. Some fights you got to rely on that as a calling card, but that shit don't need to be the whole fight. And about dogging, let me dog them. Nah, you got to outthink them. Out at the higher level. Remember, you stepping it up. Outthink them and bring that physicality with you. Like create some balance with that shit. You got to. And even Robert Garcia. That's why I said I love me just trying to be a student of this shit because I hear a lot of what I say up here. I be hearing the trainers and just saying he said the same thing. Virgil was doing to trying to, or basically telling you need to dial it back, bro. Everything don't need to be hard. You know what I'm saying? Tony Reviews, what's good with it, bro? You could pop on up. You already know, definitely, man. We could chop it up.
He was getting caught. He was getting caught in every third punch, especially in the body.
Right.
You go downstairs, whop, whop, and then on the last one, as soon as he pop his head up from his attack, touch it. So that's why he was getting a discrepancy in the total punches, but he was getting touched on the way out, or with the completions of his
Damn, it was
his
good,
artillery that he was bringing.
And to revisit an idea that Remo had mentioned pertaining to Canelo and Bud, whether or not it would be better to feel his power early on so you know what you're dealing with. I think that's the other thing when it comes to deception. It's like if you're throwing everything fast and hard from the get-go, the other guy's got an opportunity to acclimate to that.
Yes.
And you alluded to this yesterday, just like being able to brace for it, because it's like, okay, even if it is a hard shot, now I know what I'm dealing with, as opposed to, you mixing it up and changing the speed on the punches, and then boom, now you throw something hard. Like you'll see the crafty guys, it'll be like touch, 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 and then boom, then they throw something with ill intent.
Right.
So then that is still that element of surprise.
Yeah, Bud said the same thing with the arrow when he said he got touched, and he was like, "Oh,
God,
that's it."
He said, "That's it." Yeah, he said, "That's it," and then he knew, all right, I could step to this dude now without a problem because I know I took his best overhand left straight to the jaw, and it didn't have the effect that it had on everybody else on me. So, all right, let's go, let's play.
And in addition to that, later on in the fight, I want to say it was the 7th round, that second knockdown that he scored. He set that trap, and he knew that there would be a good chance that he would get caught by a punch. But he was like, "All right, I'll be willing to take that shot if I can land my uppercut clean."
Yeah.
And he was able to drop him with that uppercut.
So, yeah, I'm about to say that's the one that put him down, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. This boxing shit is tricky, man. It could be a night or it could not be a night, but all it takes is one.
Even if you look at that second shot that Virgil got put down with the second knockdown, he didn't even get hit with a hard shot, but he was loading up a shot on a shot of his own. He was actually swinging while he was en route to the canvas, and he was just like loading up on a crazy shot.
That logo helped that out, though. That logo on the floor.
The decal definitely looked a little bit slippery, but still, it's like if he wasn't loading up on a crazy shot like that, more than likely he probably wouldn't have put himself off balance.
But right after that, though, after that, he got the work. Right after he got off, off that canvas, that boy went to work. So even if that was a 10-8, that might have been a 9-8 or something like that afterwards, because he put in some damage after that second knockdown.
Yeah, nuance and a little bit more sophisticated of an approach is gonna bode well for him moving forward. Because he's got the skills, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like some of the things I saw him doing, I'm like, damn, I didn't even know he could do these things.
Who that? You said Virgil?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a bag. I think I said
you said it. You said like, yo, he got a bag, and I was like, yo, he got some shit with him.
Like Virgil showing a bag. I ain't know he had that. I'm like, yo, and he don't want to show it. And
he don't.
He made a great point. That shit he do. It's been working for him. So this was the first time that it hasn't. So he had to learn that, and he had the ability to learn it and kind of pick up on like, all right, this might not be the approach. Let me dial it back. Me box a little bit. And I think some of that was due to fatigue too. Some of that was due to fatigue. He did a good job disguising it a bit. He was still fighting, but I think he couldn't keep up that same intensity. So you said, you know what? And I'm not getting the shots cleanly. I'm gonna just box him a little bit. But he was using a jab, and it was good to see a guy like Virgil use a jab. I was like, bro, use your jab more. Box this dude. That's the thing. It don't have to be a fight the whole time. We get it. It's a fight, but it's okay for it to be a boxing match sometimes too, man. Tony Reviews was good, bro.
What's good? I'm gonna be the controversial one. I think Virgil is trash. I don't think he's good at all. I thought he lost the fight. This is what I see. I see a very one-dimensional fighter.
My boy. Go ahead.
What's up?
What's up? I said you come right up here cooking my guy.
He's always been very one-dimensional, and he remained one-dimensional in this fight. He's got no footwork. He stays off balance. And this fight right here was a fight for him to look good. Bokachek had already been knocked out earlier in his career. So this was a fight where they thought Virgil was going to get an early stoppage because the dude's chin has already been cracked. On top of that, it's a guy that Virgil had already sparred 1,000,000 times. So they weren't scared that Virgil was going to get stopped or dropped. They weren't scared at all. That's the only reason why they put him in there with this dude, because they knew he was a come forward fighter, and that's all he did. He's very one-dimensional as well. But the difference here is Virgil proved what I've been saying all along. He's a hype job. And this is what I saw. I saw Virgil get dropped. They didn't count it at first. They did everything they could to protect him. So the first round, they didn't count when he got dropped. Then at the end of the fourth round, he looked like he was starting to slow down for the first time. And what did they do going into the fifth round? They gave him 8 hours to recover to get a second win, because they was like, oh, no, wait a minute. We got to do a review on the knockdown. They didn't do it in between the rounds. They didn't do it at any rounds until he looked like he started to fall apart at the end of the fourth round. Then all of a sudden going to the fifth round, they got to stop the whole competition to do a fight review. Then if you remember, at the end of the ninth round, I believe it was, the end of the ninth round, because Virgil came on real strong in the 10th. At the end of the ninth round, he was doing really good against Bokachek, and then all of a sudden the fight 180, and Bokachek caught him, had him going backwards. Then all of a sudden the fight stops all of a sudden again, because now tape is coming off of his glove, and then he goes to the corner, and again they give him 8 hours to put on a piece of tape and cut it off, and then he comes back with another second win. So I saw 2 times in this fight that he needed all the help in the world from the referee. Even the second knockdown, the referee did not want to count, but this time the guy on the side of the ring who was doing the count for the knockdown jumped up, and he had to do the count because the side ringman was actually doing the count and got his attention. So he was trying to not call both knockdowns. So this is what I saw. Again, to recap, I saw Virgil. He could only fight one way. He comes at you like a ram, and he happened to be fighting a guy who came at you like a ram. He sucks from range, because when it was fought from range, Bokachek was out jabbing him and actually dropped him the second time from range. It wasn't until the 10th round on, when you saw Bokachek look like he got tired, that Virgil actually started doing good from distance. He kept stopping the distance before the 10th round because he couldn't outgun him from range. So I see a guy, especially if he fights Terence Crawford, he's going to be easy work. He's going to get outboxed. He's going to get beat up. More than likely, he's going to get dropped. And with Terence, as aggressive as he is and as pinpoint accurate as he is, he may even stop Virgil. He very well may stop him. I don't think Virgil beats anybody at the top. I don't even think he beats somebody who's a prospect coming up like a Xander Zayas, to be honest with you. I think that boy would piece him up. But if you're talking about like a Tim Tszyu, even a Fundora who's now fighting off the back foot, jabbing, I think he gets pieced up by all of them. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I like the different perspective. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You cook Verge, but nah, you just graded him hard, man. Look, ain't nothing wrong with that. Virgil got some work to do. I like him though. I think the way a lot of him being one-dimensional that you were speaking on, I think that's just what worked for him, right? It's one of those things where it wasn't broke for a long time. Why try to fix it? I think, like I said, late in the fight, he showed the ability to be able to box, right? A bit. But I think for me moving forward is how much of that will we see? Did we just see it in that one moment? Maybe because you ran out of answers, maybe some fatigue led you to try to actually box and think a little bit more, or you know what I mean? Are we gonna see it again? You know what I'm saying? Or was it just a one off? So I think he got the ability, but he got to utilize it. You get what I'm saying? these knockout style, man. So I get it. You know what I mean? I understand. Like Remo was saying, the approach been working. So why switch it up? But I think at least after this fight, close as this one was, he got a fight where he can go and say, I need to work on some shit. And I think he'd do that. You know what I'm saying? He worked hard as hell. That's why I like Virgil, man. He a workhorse.
I think with that team that he got though, I don't think it's too late. Yeah, sometimes you gotta go back into the lab and you gotta work on stuff. I ain't gonna say he a bum. He showed limitations, but I think with the team that he got, he's still a younger guy. He hasn't had a lot of rounds within the last 4 or 5 years. I think there's room for improvement, man. And especially down there where he's at. We could have said the same thing about somebody like Lubin. It was just too early for Lubin when he got stopped. Sometimes they got to figure out what they got, what they are, who they are, and the time frame of why they fighting and for who they fighting against.
I believe it was good, bro.
But you got to keep this in mind too. In Virgil's entire career, he's only fought 2 guys with knockout power. That was Mean Machine Velasquez and now Bopacek. And both of them put him on his ass. And neither one of them are. I mean, Mean Machine's decently skilled, but he's very undersized for 147. But both power punches he's fought has now put him on his ass. What's going to happen when he gets in there with a really skilled guy with power?
He's gonna have some issues. He's gonna have some. He's gonna have to answer some questions for sure. So what you saying is like, you just cooking on the flaws. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because I'm a nice guy. I like to, I like to highlight the good stuff. So it ain't nothing wrong with hearing where he needs improvement. But that's a fair question, and I think it's good for him to have a fight like this. It's not all bad, right? You see the areas where improvement needs to take place, right? And he got that fight to go back and look at. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't gonna just get blasted out. Everybody ain't backing down from your power. This is 154. It's a little bit different up here. Maybe it would suit best to have a bit more balanced approach. Don't be all guts and glory. You get what I'm saying? Mix that shit up. Be balanced in your approach. Not just from a physical standpoint, but be smart in there. Because with a guy, like I said, that works as hard as Virgil does and stays committed, it's a matter of him just learning these things or doing them, working on them. And if he's able to do that, then I believe he has the room to improve. You get what I'm saying? He's still young. YSM, my guy, what's good with it, bro? Much love to you. Always with the great work. Salute to you, bro. So, yeah, man, I hear you, Tony. That it's fair, bro. You just, these dudes, a lot of them, they don't be fully tested yet, and they ain't not finished products. And we love. I like seeing Virgil go in there and knock guys out, but I think I could appreciate him more if he can show me a different approach that I think will lead to continued success. I think you got to pick and choose when to take the approach that you get what I'm saying. Like, it's just a different ball game. All right, maybe those first 2 guys you got in there with, yeah, you can go blow them out, but now you got a guy that's pushing back. That ain't going out. And I know some people look at it, he got knocked out by Brandon Adams. That was that fight. Boachuk was trying to win. He had no quit in him. Yeah, he was letting them hands fly, man. He was giving Virgil a lot to think about. And again, it's just sometimes you got your mind made up that you ain't going in there to get sparked out. You there to fight too. And that's what he ran into. And I think he needs to understand when you in there with the type of guy that's going, be able to hang with you doing what you do best. Is wise to be able to be able to go into your bag and do these other things that could create these openings in. You know what I mean? So it might be some stuff you can do that Boachuk can't. But if all you want to do is come straight forward and fight, it's exactly what he do too. So I think that's why you didn't see neither guy really create that kind of separation, because they both, that's what they do. Just come forward and fight. I think if somebody would have implemented a bit more boxing and, moving, setting some traps, being creative and not just being predictable, probably a different outcome. So again, it's something that I think with a guy that is that determined and works hard, he could work on. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely got to tighten up. Dr. Boxing Talk, my guy, what's good with it, bro?
Especially when you're in there with a guy that you got experience with as well. That's the other component. Like we've seen that fight with what's them 2 guys, Loma and Jermaine Ortiz, and that was a pretty competitive fight because both of those guys had sparred with each other numerous rounds. So I agree with you just as far as the approach is concerned, and that's the main thing. When I look at certain fighters, it's not so much a matter of what they can or what they can't do, but their approach and how they choose to apply certain things. And what I seen from Virgil, I'm like, yo, he got more than what's been advertised, but it's just a matter of doing it.
Really
yeah,
fast,
also,
not to interrupt. To B Dog in the chat, I think you might want to watch back the Ortiz Mean Machine fight because he definitely got his ass dropped in the second round against Mean Machine. So you might want to watch the fight back while you saying I'm wrong.
you know, a lot of that is also the way Oscar, you know, gets it, like his fighters. They don't have tough bumps until the end at the very end, and they always seem to lose on the tough bumps. So it's how the matchmaking goes over there at Golden Boy. Like they build them up to 40, 45 wins, and they're like, all right. I mean, I still don't know what they really have or what their attributes are because out of the 40 something, we can name 2 or 3 out of the 40. So it's like he's not doing them any favors as well, you know.
It's not so much the names though. It's not so much the names. It's putting them in there with
different looks.
Yeah, different guys that possess attributes to test them in different areas.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main thing, and that's the good thing that came out of this fight. It's like now you have a better idea of how to have a more well-balanced approach. And Tony's review, I just looked it up. No, he didn't get dropped by Mean Machine.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He got buzzed. He didn't get dropped. He didn't get dropped. He got buzzed.
No, he didn't.
They on it. They ain't letting that live.
Please let me in. He got his ass dropped towards the end of the second round, and the referee played Captain Saber Virgil and called it a slip. He most definitely got hit and hit the fucking canvas. It's as clear as day if you watch it. He gets his ass dropped.
All right, you yelling doesn't make it any more right. He didn't get dropped in the fight.
Watch the fight.
I've watched it several times.
Can I share a screen? We can play the video of him getting dropped. We can literally watch him get dropped together. Even Crawford, when he got dropped, did a tweet about his ass getting dropped in the second round. They ruled it a slippage, but on the replay, you saw he got hit in the fucking face and hit the canvas. What are you talking about?
Sir, it's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they won't let that go. That a lot of people they feel like that, you know, it was a knockdown. I seen it played a million times. I mean, shit. I'll just look at the end result, man. It was an ass whooping for Mean Machine. He got dusted off shortly after that. I mean, shit, shots happen. That dude, he a slugger, man. Bud got hit with a shot similar to how he got hit with a shot against Gamboa. The difference is he, you know, might have, you know, touched the canvas on this one. I mean, shit, I think Andre Ward said he probably felt like it was a knockdown too, but it's very subjective. And I'm not mad at people calling it a knockdown, but shit, the end result was Bud beating his ass. JC in the building. Rollo was good with it, fam. JC was good.
And that's the main thing. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Like, after we look at the results.
So
there's no controversy there.
We were not talking about the end result. I made a statement. The statement was both times he's fought guys who are considered power punchers, he's been put on his pockets. That's something to think about. He's only fought 2 guys with knockout power an entire career, and both of them put him down. I just watched it. Second round, 24 seconds. At 27 seconds, you can see him get popped at the top of the head, and he starts to stumble. Then he gets caught again at 24 seconds and hits the canvas. He throws a punch, he gets countered, and goes down. The referee called it a slip. He got knocked down. I don't know what fight you were watching, but everybody on Twitter, all other fighters were talking about he got that ass dropped. Just like in this fight against Bopacek, the referee didn't want to call it a first round knockdown when he got knocked down. He literally gets up off the canvas.
Okay.
Yeah, the point is
when he got dropped in the first round, when he got up, was he on Bambi legs? Was he on skates? Was he on Queer Street?
No, but it's a bad look If every time you fight a power puncher, you get put down, especially against guys that are nowhere near what your alleged skill level is. That's something to be concerned about when you're going to get in there with guys like Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Terence Crawford now, who just came up, even Earl Spence Jr., depending on what he looks like coming back. It is really concerning that every time you fought a power puncher, you get put on your pockets. And you're getting put on your pockets by guys who aren't that skilled.
But again, was he hurt?
Yeah.
That's the question. That's the question I have. In that first round, was he hurt in that first round? Did he look like he was out on his feet where he just couldn't continue to fight?
Well, in both fights, in the second round against Mean Machine, it was right before the bell. And in this fight, in the first round, it was right before the bell. Now, the second time he got knocked down, no, he didn't look hurt because he got up to win the rest of the round. I'll give you that. But when he got dropped both those first times, yeah, he was just fortunate enough that the guys couldn't capitalize on it because it was at the bells.
So he must just, have fortune on his side. These guys got all these other rounds to work with, and they're not able to finish the job.
Yeah, you know what's the best part about being?
You're missing the point. The point is
no, like, I'm not missing the point. I'm not missing the point. I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that all knockdowns are not created equal.
I agree.
And then also the other thing we have to look at is why is he touching the canvas in some of these situations? And then the other thing that's equally as important is how he finishes after being hurt.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how he finishes
if he's hurt.
No. What I'm trying to tell you is, what I'm looking at is, he's getting put down by guys who are not that skilled when you compare them to the elite level. They're really not that skilled. And if guys who are not that skilled with very limited skills are dropping you just because they have some power, then what's going to happen to you when you fight somebody who hits hard and is extremely skilled? I think he's a knockout waiting to happen. The future will tell us if I'm right or wrong, but I'm seeing all the writing on the walls that he is a knockout waiting to happen.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Or he could also be one of those guys who just happens to get dropped and then they get up and then they do their thing. Like, what's his name early on in his career before him going up to 135? A guy like Gamboa. Gamboa used to get dropped damn near in every fight and then turn around and win the fight. And a lot of it had to do with just bad habits. It's not just a matter of durability. I mean, shit, we seen this guy get dropped several times.
So the question is he susceptible to being knocked down, or he's shinny? Which one is it?
That's what I'm trying to sort out. Because then you got guys like
because him being knocked down because of technique is just poor technique on his behalf to him getting open the shots. But him being chinny and being hurt is two different stories.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm asking certain questions, because again, you got a guy like Amir Khan, where it's damn near like every time he got hit clean, it was.
Yeah, but Amir Khan was also getting knocked out by elite competition. It's not like he was getting stopped.
He got knocked out by Breedis Prescott. Breedis Prescott is not elite.
I would have to look at what Prescott was and where Amir Khan was at the time he got knocked out by him. But when you're talking about like your Crawfords, who he refused to get up against, your Canelos, who he was out boxing before he got. Hey.
You know what's the best thing about being the king of the casuals? Whether he's chinny, he got up, he fought. I enjoyed the fight thoroughly, through and through. The dude was a champion. At least you know your champion that the held the belt wasn't chump. I enjoyed the fight. It was a random night. I just watched the shit and I enjoyed the fight. Virgil showed a little bit more than I knew he had in him. And it's just stepping stone for him, man. Whether, technically he need to fix some shit in the gym where he's not getting dropped or he's chinny, we don't know. but we seen he got some dog in him. He got dropped, fell, touched during the slip, whatever you want to call it. He got his ass up, and he got after it as soon as he got up. That shows a level of animal in him. Because a lot of people, they phone it in. When they know they're losing it down behind the cards, they're ready to pack it up. Like, you know what? My night is over. They're so discouraged that there's nothing left in them to really come back to. So you got to look at it in different elements rather than him just being like trash, you know?
Well,
And the other thing is this is I just want to say this real quick, Tony. The other thing is this. You can't just look at guys as though they're gonna stay as constituted. A perfect example of that last weekend, what was that? Well, no, the third, Rayo. I had never seen Rayo utilize the ring like that. I didn't even know that the dude could even move laterally. I thought he was just being able to move in a straight line. But that guy showed different elements. When these guys, they want to come back and they want to make adjustments. We seen what's my guy's name? Chris Eubank Jr. got knocked out by Liam Smith. Came back for a completely different fight.
That was an elbow. That was an elbow.
Whatever you want to say, he fought a different fight stylistically.
Came back.
He wasn't in there in the rematch with his hands down doing a damn Roy Jones impersonation.
Yeah.
Like he just fought a completely more technically sound fight. So that's the thing that I'm waiting to see from Virgil Ortiz is moving forward. How does he approach fights?
Especially gym work too. Listening to his coaches. Bringing different layers in. Perfect as you said, Rayo, right? Rayo fell in love with his power. And he went power for power with Edwin. All right. From that point in time, they were like, oh, the dude's chinny. He was dancing all over the ring, right? He fought Colbert. Colbert got out of there with a victory based on it looked like he was getting outboxed. Rayo was tired, whatever you want to say it. That very next camp, they changed a few things. He listened a little bit more. He put him on the ropes. Just dropped him. Put him to sleep. The very next fight now, he's champ. It's his turn.
Yeah, but I'm gonna come back to Rayo and just like I just want to say this. Like I'll give you a prime example of what I mean by like when I look at people's chins, right? Jared Anderson. I had seen him hurt by lesser punchers. All right. I've been saying for years, I question his chin. I've been saying for years, I think he's a knockout waiting to happen, and then he gets stopped. He showed a lot of heart because he kept getting up, but he kept getting put down. Especially whenever I saw him fight Charles Martin, and Charles Martin, who had been inactive for like over a year, kept stunning him left and right. So the same thing I see with Virgil, I saw with him, and I had been saying it. And then he got in there with McCauley, who's very skilled, who's very tough, who's very big, and punches don't hurt. And he just walked through him, caught him, and put him down. It's the same thing I see with Virgil. I think it's a matter of time before he fights somebody that, like Bopacek, he's not going to hurt, who can take his punches, and they're going to be way more skilled and be able to actually get full extension on punches versus smothering their attack like Bopacek did. As far as Rayo goes, I give him that. Very good win, but honestly, I still want to see Barroso fight Rayo because I think Barroso should have been the champion. It should have never been Rolly. Cruz should have never got a belt. That old man got robbed against Rolly when he was in there with Tony Weeks waving off the fight, even though not one punch landed on him. He had already been beating up Rolly the entire fight. So I think anybody who would have fought Rolly would have won that belt. So as far as skill level goes, I really don't know how good Cruz is or isn't good. I just know Rayo looked very good against him.
He got hurt too early in the round, and he weathered that storm. He boxed him, and then he really ended up outboxing, stunning him. He's another one of those guys that I don't think is going to be knocked out during his career, but he can be outboxing. And Rayo played it perfect. Like, he put enough boxing and power respectfully together to get him out of that fight without knocking him out.
I'm with you on that, Tony. I'm with you on that. That's spot on. Barroso definitely deserves it for sure. Especially after he came back and he did what he did with O'Hara Davies, who was supposed to be in line originally with the WBA. So yeah, Barroso is definitely deserving. As far as Rayo, the reason why I give him the credit is we've seen him against Pitbull, irrespective of who he was in there with. He never fought like that. at least not in recent years. I think that what Remo said was spot on, where he just got so enamored with his power that we didn't really see him use his legs, use his jab, place his shots. Like the man looked like Frankenstein from the waist down a couple fights ago. Like his footwork was terrible when he was with Benavidez Senior. But seeing what he's worked on, like you can tell that this dude has put the work in the gym. To go back to Jared Anderson and my God, Victor Ortiz. I said Victor Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz. That is a perfect example of what I'm saying is a guy staying as he is, as constituted. And that's just provided that they don't go back in and tweak certain things. The Reed Anderson was in there getting touched up. It wasn't just a matter of just like his chin, but also stylistically, the approach to the fight, defensively, still having the same issues as far as fighting with his hands down, pulling straight back, and all these other things. We seen another guy in the past, another heavyweight who didn't necessarily have the best chin, but he came up with a style, stuck to it, and it afforded him longevity, and that's Vladimir Klitschko. Remember, Vladimir Klitschko didn't have a great chin like that, but he fought in a manner that was safe for him, that was protected for him. So with a guy like Virgil, if he can, find a way to protect himself a little bit more, then the main thing too is operate a little bit more safely offensively. I think that's the biggest issue with him. It's not so much his defense, his technique, because when he was in there moving his head and using his legs, I'm like, damn, he got something there. But back to Justice's point and Remo's point, is like you can't just fall in love with one thing and then just do that. It's not that he don't have it, he just don't use it.
Gotta evolve. Your boxing game gotta evolve as you go up there in levels. You gotta improve. You gotta take it, you gotta elevate your game right with you. And that's all that's what that last fight was evidence of, right? Him needing to understand that. You know what I mean? It's more to it than just going in there and wiping the guy out, blasting him up out of there. Everybody not going with that approach. You know what I mean? If you got more tools in the box, then use them. You know what I mean? Don't wait till it's too late to use them. You get what I'm saying? Use them while you can. You get what I'm saying? So that's all. It's just a matter of learning. You know what I mean? And going outside of your comfort zone too. You know what I'm saying? If boxing makes you uncomfortable, then maybe you need to be doing more of it. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Destro. I see you, bro. So shout out to you. BN Boxing News. Shout out to my guy Naeem too. He said facts in that super chat. And BN Boxing News. Salute to the chat. Rock on my guy. Great at chat, man. Salute to the panel, man. Always dope to build with the bros. Let me get my guy.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Yeah, 154, sink or swim. And he made it up out of there by the skin of his teeth. You know what I'm saying? And I think long as he understand that his approach needs changing, he can, he can get better. You know what I'm saying?
But you can say that outcome for almost any night in one of the top 8 fights at 154. Mm-hmm. Everybody ain't gonna look perfect in there because that talent pool is so heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody's bringing something different in that division. Like, you know what I mean? You got Fondora with 8 feet long arms. Like, that's not traditional. You got to deal with him. Lubin got an engine like no other, and he got experience under his belt now. He fighting a whole different way. Crawford is like the Jedi right now. They got to figure out what they going to do.
Peace, Queen.
Who else we got down there? Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, he got dog in him. Like, every night is not going to be an easy night at 54. And eventually, they all going to have to see each other. I don't see any of them walking away with down there at 54. It's too tough. They're going to walk away with maybe 2 or 3 by the time their career end if they all playing around in that division. But we need to see the fights, and I think there's enough talent there to keep us all nice and fat as far as visually watching all of these fights go down. The rest of boxing you can cancel and just let them fight, and we'd be happy.
Right.
I mean, see, my biggest thing is this: Terence was just in a very hard fight. you know, you could argue that it was a draw, or you could argue that Terence won the fight. I could see it argued either way, right?
Mhm.
But when you look at the totality of that fight, you look at it as like you could see the skill level of Israel and Terence. They were both highly skilled fighters. Tim Tszyu, when he lost to Fundora, he had one eye, he had blood rushing down his face. He still looked very skilled, and Fundora did something we never seen him do before, which maybe Virgil can do to y'all's point. He boxed off the back foot. He didn't fight in the phone booth like he normally does. He used his range, but he looked skilled. Even when Fundora got knocked out to Mendoza, he looked very skilled until he got stopped. Even Lubin has looked very skilled until he's been stopped. My problem with Virgil is I don't see the skills.
As of recent or never?
I would have agreed with you with the other fights prior, because I was on the same wave with him. It's just like it's just go. But in that last fight, and I was actually just watching it right now, there were quite a few moments in that fight where it's like he showed that he's capable of doing other things. I just think that the guy just has to get that out of his mind. Like, yo, go back to what Just said. And Robert Garcia was telling him in the corner,
he ain't lie to him.
Everything doesn't have to be hard and fast, dude. Like, use your jab, set him up, use your legs, and he's got better legs than what he's advertised in previous fights.
And add on to that, the dude is tired. He gonna try to end this, man. I'm tired, bro.
Yeah.
I still think he got a little bit of time, man. Golden Boy got to put him in a couple positions where he gonna get tested.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the old go or not, but the names are around it, man. They all gonna lose eventually if they ain't lose already. It's just
for sure.
They gonna give us some good fights because the names up there is marquee enough for us to sit down and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna miss them.
Yeah.
Great point too, Tony, about Fundora versus Mendoza. I was saying the same thing because he used his jab pretty well in that fight too. I think the biggest issue with Fundora is not him using his jab. I think he's just got slow feet. So it's like if you're able to get underneath the jab and encroach the distance, and he pulls straight out, like you can close the gap on him.
Like a giraffe.
He's got slow feet. Yeah, he just.
But think about that, Anthony. How does a dude almost 7 feet tall, or however tall he is,
6'6",
5.5,
really shrink down and get away? Like once somebody's in your pocket, they basically in your chest. For me to back up from you now, I got to get small enough where all of that is not exposed.
Yeah, but I think the biggest problem with Fundora is that he was a Dennis Rodman. Like he talked about it, like he got tall overnight. He was short. So when he grew up boxing, he grew up boxing short. So he's used to. That's why you see him fight in the pocket so much, because he's used to fighting in the pocket, because that's all he knew. He was always the shorter fighter. Then in a blink of an eye, he became a giraffe. So now he's a short guy in a tall body who's just trying to figure out how to use a tall body. Like he's really, really got a short man's mentality because he was short up until like the very last moment. So he's just got to get used to using that reach. I don't know if he's got slow feet or he's just at home in the pocket.
Well, he ain't got much room for effort, so he better figure it out. Names ain't gonna take it easy on him at all.
Well, the reason why I say he has slow feet is because the moments where Mendoza was able to have success, it was a lot of times it was when he was slipping the jab and stepping on the inside, and then Fundora was pulling straight back, and he was just able to the spot and just follow him out the back door. One thing I was utilizing his reach, what I would like to see him, this is just selfishly, I would like to see him pivot off the line a little bit more. Like it doesn't always have to be managing range and pulling straight back, but you tag somebody with a jab, step to the side, kind of like what we see with his sister. I think that his sister, man, I love the way she fights. I love the way Gabby fights.
Yeah, she nice.
Hey man, how's it going on in here, brothers? What's good?
What's up, Chief?
What's going on, bro?
I came in late to the party. This is my first time on here, man. I'm glad I ran up and found this channel. Hey, I have a question though. One of the brothers on here, I'm not sure which one it was, but one of the brothers was saying that they thought the fight between Majimov and Bud was either a draw or either way or something like that? Like, is that a consensus agreement on everybody on the panel and everyone in the chat that Bud versus Madrimov was pretty much a draw?
I didn't have
No,
it.
I ain't having a draw.
I think he pressed the gas 10, 11, 12. And he kind of knew he was he had some room to really separate himself. So he did the work 10, 11, 12 to kind of won that fight. It was close though. It's a close fight.
Would you say was it equally as like was the fight last weekend the one that just passed with
yeah.
What Virgil Ortiz, was that one equally as close, or you think that the Bud Madrimov fight was closer, or what? Like, which one was closer to you?
I think Bud and them was closer because it was more technical. It wasn't no knockdowns, so Bud really had to go get it. I didn't see the difference in Virgil getting back those knockdown points. So sometimes they got to chase the money and go with the money. I just didn't think Turki and Oscar did them any favors because I'm more of a casual basketball guy than a boxing fan. But when you talk about the money prior to the fight, and then you show me the fight as a fan, like just checking out the sport, you're like, damn, like I ain't really see it the way it was shown to me. But you already told me what the big fight is. That's why I could have went that way. I might look at that. I might look at it with that lens. But they both were tough fights. But I just think technically Bud kind of edged it out without the knockdowns, which made it a little bit more easier to digest.
Yeah, I watched the fight a few times, man. I noticed a lot of people that have been talking about that fight. A lot of them only watched it like once or twice. Like as far as boxing fans go, like real boxing fans, like I'm in no position to judge another nigga and say, oh well, he's not a boxing fan or he's just a casual. But I mean, like, you're supposed to watch fights multiple times, you know, like to really, you have to watch it multiple times. Sometimes you have to watch it without the commentary. Because I mean, believe it or not, like the commentary makes a difference. Like sometimes, it's almost like music playing in the background. You may have a job where whatever type of job it is, but there's music playing in the background. Like you might not ever listen to that type of music, but you hear it every day at work, and before you know it, like you know all the lyrics to the song, and you don't even like this fucking song. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't let things that might play in your what's the word I'm looking for? Your subconscious.
Right.
Or it has it plays a part in your decision making as far as when it comes to boxing and stuff. Listening to the commentary, because the commentary on the fight between Madrimov and Bud Crawford doesn't coincide with what you actually see. Because it seemed like Bud was throwing more punches. He was the aggressor. His jab clearly made a difference in the fight. He took away Madrimov, one of Madrimov's one of his biggest weapons. Madrimov is definitely a more skilled fighter than, they didn't really give Bud credit for fighting Madrimov, but like once they saw the fight, they realized, like once they both step in the ring, people realized that Madrimov, was a skilled fighter, and he was a champion, even though he didn't have that many fights. I don't know, man, but when I look at it, I scored like I don't know, like maybe 8-4 for Bud Crawford. I feel like Bud Crawford body work was not spoken about. Bud Crawford was throwing the combinations, but he was missing more than we normally see him miss. But at the same time, he still was, like you said, man, even if the fight was somewhat close, I mean, Bud Crawford definitely stepped on the gas and won the last 3 rounds or the last 2 rounds. At the very least, he won the championship rounds. It just seems like Bud Crawford, the work that he was putting in, the commentators didn't really acknowledge it. It was more so about Madrimov. Just kind of how it goes. I feel like when you're on top, if somebody could get a lick on you, then it's magnified, as opposed to it only being just one punch. Okay, he landed a good punch, but it was just one punch. But when it's landing on someone that you may not be a fan of, that one punch is more like about 50 punches. But Madrimov did a good job. But I mean, I think when I looked at the punch stats, I mean, he only threw like 250 punches or something the whole fight. The whole fight. Like, any way you gonna win a fight, throwing 250 punches. Unless you land all of them. Like, especially when your opponent is throwing twice as many punches as you, and he finished off the last 2 rounds as far as the championship rounds go. So that's just how I look at it. I had it about 8-4. You know what I'm saying? There was no knockdowns or anything like that. So how the hell could Madrimov possibly? I don't see how it could be a draw. Like it's not like Magomedov had knockdowns or anything like that to make up for the rounds that he lost. So, you know, I just don't see it. I don't see where you can give Magomedov 6 rounds to make it a draw. You know?
He got disarmed in me. He got disarmed. He got reduced to a one-handed fighter. And he got limited in that fight. You know, Bud was a lot more versatile than him to me. And he controlled the pace. He definitely won them championship rounds. He mixed it up to the body. His jab was consistent. You know, you look at Madrimov, it's some of them boxes that he normally check off in fights. He wasn't checking off in Bud Crawford fight. He was predominantly a right-handed guy, just landing the right hand over and over. He landed it a lot, but it just wasn't enough consistent offense with any other weapon outside of that for me. I ain't see really no real consistent body attack, barely any. So that for me, when I see a guy doing multiple things and you ain't checking none of them boxes, he out jabbed you. You know, he did more work to the body, more consistent letting his hands go, controlling the pace more in the rounds. Yeah, both had a lot of figuring each other out and bluffing early in the fight. But even in those moments where it was time to take the initiative, Bud Crawford was willing to do that and let his hands go. You know what I'm saying? I think he had Madrimov in trouble once or twice in that fight. You know what I mean? But again, dude recovered well, and it's a damn good fight, man. It's just again when it don't play out the way you used to seeing it, it's a different gauge you tend to have. Like, damn, did he lose this fight? Because it's like when the last time I seen somebody go to a distance with him, when the last time I seen somebody, you know, play chess with him that well and make it look that close. That's all. You know, Madrimov had no quit, but he ain't have enough tools either to me to win that fight. It just not enough was on display. He was tough. He hung in there. He weathered any potential storm. You know what I mean? He showed that he belonged on the stage, but not enough tools for me. That's why I feel like Bud won.
Yeah, so I brought this up earlier. The only reason why I brought it up earlier wasn't to debate who won the fight, who didn't win the fight. My point was, even if Bud would have lost that fight, let's say hypothetically he lost the fight, you still could not have said that Terence Crawford wasn't skilled because it was a very skillful fight between both of them. And that was my only point to compare to Virgil. I don't really see skills. I can see guys lose, and I can see them lose skillfully. But when I see Virgil win, I don't see a lot of skills. And I think it's going to become very apparent when he steps up how little skills he actually has against technicians. As far as Terence Crawford and Masvidal or Israel goes, I could see somebody arguing a draw because while you are correct, Bud threw over 100 more punches, he only outlanded him by 11 punches over 12 rounds, which means Masvidal, while he let go, I mean, it could have been 200 less punches, but that looks really bad on paper when a guy throws 200 less punches than you and he almost lands the exact same amount of punches. Yeah, you're more active. Yeah, you're more busy, but he's more precise. And when he throws, he's hitting. So I could see an argument, but I could not see an argument for Israel winning. There's no way he won the fight. Like I said, you're pushing it with a draw. But if you had to get it somebody, Bud clearly won the fight. But I was only comparing skills. Like both guys look way more skilled than Virgil to me. And that's the only reason why I brought it up earlier. I just got back, so I don't know if that was correct.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a good point. And again, I think it's just more Virgil now showing that he has a bag, showing that he has versatility. Because, like I was saying, up until this point, he ain't had a reason to kind of switch tactics, right? But now with the fight being as close, doing what you typically always do, and you ain't get the desired result, I think it'd be a perfect time to try to, you know, sharpen some other tools and bring them shits to the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see from him. Now, can you grow? Now that you stepping it up and you're gonna be, you know, higher, you know, competition ain't gonna get easier. It's 154. So now can you grow with the division that you in? Yeah, we seen what you brought to 147, and that shit probably would have worked as long as you stayed there, right? But now you had another division where that same approach might not work. Not at the highest level, maybe in between those run of the mill. You can do that to those, go in there and blast those guys out. But now, let's see if you got enough to hang mentally. Can you bring IQ in the fight with you and really utilize a bag? And like I said, I think he showed me some things. I just want to see it way more consistently before I could say that, this is what he do, right? Because I only seen it, what I mean, in some spots, but it's there. He showed me it's there. Now it's about him applying it and not really changing the approach, but tweaking it, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Tweak it, man, because you can't blast everybody out, bro. And that shit could go horribly wrong if you in there with a counter puncher. You get what I'm saying? That's banking on you being overly aggressive. Bud Crawford, you don't want to fight that guy.
Yo,
Bro,
Josh,
man, he's good with it. Josh, what up, man? Pound for pound, my guy.
I'm about to hop back in this chat real quick. Deal with these
Sure,
kids.
we're gonna cook for a few more minutes, fellas.
Brother
Shout
Tony,
out,
man, it was great talking to you. Destro, welcome to one of the dopest, boxing talks on the net.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
No conversation on this joint is unnecessary, or every opinion is welcome, and we just talk here like grown adults, man. So always welcome back, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate
it for having me, man. Y'all be safe tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate you too.
All right, King.
Shout out to my guy, Remo, man.
And I'll see you in a few.
I know, appreciate y'all boys, man. Yes, always, man. So we will see, man. Who gonna rise at 54, man? It's wide open. It's a lot of players. Let's see where they fit in at, man. Like I said, I'm glad Canelo's not on the table. It don't need to be. Just make real fights, man. Let him do what he doing. He got 68 to worry about. Crawford should try to plant his flag at 54. I mean, you ain't had that tough fight for nothing, man. Show them that just was a tough fight and that you still the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plant your flag at 54.
Right.
Some good fights there.
So yeah, but like when you say that, like I mean, but the Bud Crawford versus Canelo, I mean, to me, like as far as like popularity, but more importantly, just like skill. Like it's the perfect fight where it's like size versus skill. Don't get me wrong, Canelo is very skilled as well. But I feel like, I don't know, man, especially at Bud's age, I don't know if Bud has the time to try to clear up another division when he's about to be 37 years old next month. So I would rather see Bud versus Canelo, knowing that it's not even so much about black versus Mexican or anything like that. But Bud, in my humble opinion, all right, is the most accomplished and the most skilled fighter of this era since Floyd and all the other ones retired. You know what I'm saying? Because like after Floyd and them retired, it was more like Andre Ward, Bud Crawford, Canelo got past the torch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And definitely as far as weight classes go, because I feel like Bud is the closest one to be able to challenge Canelo. That's somewhat close to Canelo's weight. If he's up for the fight, like who am I to say nah, don't do it? Or we don't want to see that fight. Like I would question someone and ask them like why wouldn't you want to see Bud versus Canelo, and why not apply pressure for Canelo to fight Bud? I don't understand like why someone wouldn't want to see that fight. I mean, Canelo's been jumping up in his whole career, been jumping up in weight through the history of boxing. There's been plenty of fighters that jumped up in weight to challenge themselves. But Crawford, if anything else, if nothing else, you can say, oh, well, he didn't look good versus Madrimov. I don't think that's the case. I think he looked, he just fought a different style, and he was fighting a fighter who wasn't letting his hands go. If you're a counter puncher for the most part, and you're not getting really much to counter, it just seems like they both were, like you're saying, playing chess. But for the most part, someone had to initiate it, and Bud Crawford chose to be the one to initiate it. So Bud fighting behind his jab, letting his jab go, but also throwing great body punches, throwing combination punches. These are things that Madrimov wasn't doing, which was his detriment.
Bud Crawford did more of what he typically do versus Madrimov doing what he typically do. And when you really look at the full overall fight, that's what you see taking shape. And if you look, you see Madrimov previous fights. He go at it a certain way. He respected the hell out of Bud, but kudos to him because Bud respected him too. And I think that's just what it is when you run into a style that's, as a professional, different than what you typically run into. So it was just a thinking man's game. And again, that Bud Crawford had him right in his web. If you telling me Madrimov and Bud Crawford is going to be a chess match, I'm 100% picking Bud to win. You get what I'm saying? You're going to have to create some different opportunities for yourself. Like chess match, that's going to be his game. That's a thinking man's game. Bud got that all day. And he more than likely going to control the pace when he do it. So you got to accelerate the pace, but you ain't got to go 0 to 100 like Ortiz, right? I wouldn't suggest that. But you gotta create something different. Like even for example, you seen when Bud fought Sean Porter. You see how he able to disrupt shit and get in your chest and make it different for you in there. You're not gonna get those openings or those opportunities double dutching with Bud. Like that's just not gonna happen. You got to take the initiative. Sean Porter was able to take the initiative at certain points and create success from it. That's what you got to do to Bud. Like sitting back, that's playing his game, man. You know what I'm saying? He a hell of a counter puncher. So if it's a slower pace fight, it's right up his alley. He an older guy too. You want to, in some ways, you got to find a way to push the pace, but not to the point to your own detriment. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance there. So that's just the risk you run when you fighting somebody like Crawford. He gonna make you think. That's why I say if it's all physical, then that's what you banking on. He gonna beat you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the opposition again and say that's not a fight I want to see. I think if it happens at 168, Terence is going to be selling his O because I don't see no way he wins. You said everything that you said, Destro, about a counterpuncher. Canelo is all that, but more. The one thing that Terence said about Israel is he's really strong, man. He was really strong. I can't believe how strong he was. And if you think he's strong, wait till you get in there against Canelo. Canelo's going to ragdoll you. If you think a guy who you outweighed on the night of the fight is strong, which he did, but came in 169. I had to look it up. Somebody told me. I didn't believe it. He weighed in 169. Israel weighed in 168.4.
I did hear that too.
So the thing about it is this. Terence blowing back up to damn near maximum weight is what you got to understand Canelo is sucking down to. So Canelo at his worst is the same size as Crawford at his best. And when he gets into that ring, he's going to be every bit 190 pounds. And the thing about it is this. I understand that knockouts aren't everything. You know, I love Floyd Mayweather Jr. He didn't knock out a lot of people, but he was like a master painting a picture in the ring, right? It was artwork. However, you got to understand, despite what people said about Mayweather and not having knockouts, every person he fought respected his power because he can knock every single one of them off of him. He could stun people in the middle of the ring. It's just he never got aggressive to stop them later in his career. Had he got hyper aggressive, he probably could have stopped them, but he didn't want to risk himself getting caught. So he did enough to win and keep him off, but everybody respected his power, even down to Manny Pacquiao. He stunned him several times. So the point I'm trying to make is this. I watched Israel until late into the fight eat everything Terence had and kept coming forward. And if you got a guy like Israel eating the punches,
you didn't watch the. Are you sure?
I said until late. I said until late.
Okay, until late. I'm about to say because he was holding from like the 10th round on.
Right, but
every time Bud hit him with a combination or hit him with anything.
I agree. You got to understand. There's a difference here. Masvidal is not accustomed to fighting 12 rounds. He's not. He won a vacated title, so he didn't actually. It wasn't trial by fire to get the belt. That was one of Charlo's belts that were vacated that he ended up picking up. So the thing about it is, if you can't hurt Israel, you're not going to hurt Canelo because Canelo is used to fighting guys. I'm talking about when he was fresh. I don't care about when he was exhausted because Canelo's not going to get exhausted like Israel did. Canelo
definitely gets tired. Canelo is definitely not the young Canelo. He definitely gets tired later in the fight.
With Destro, Bud's even older than him by a lot.
I know, but what does that have to? Okay, so
my point is this.
What you're saying is that Bud. Wait, but first you were saying, oh, well, Bud power only shows later in the fight versus Madrimov.
No.
But you just admitted that Canelo gets tired later in the fight.
No, Canelo can get tired. Not tired. He can look like he's slowed down later in the fight. But what you don't understand is that's with guys who by fight night are 185, 100 plus 90 pounds leaning on him, clinching with him, pushing him backwards. That's what is
that what Bivol did to beat him? Because look like to me what Bivol did was land punches and moved around. He didn't use his weight and size on Canelo. What he did was he boxed him, which is the blueprint on how to beat Canelo. Is every fighter that's beaten Canelo or that arguably beat him, whether they got the decision on the cards or not, they all boxed Canelo and outboxed him.
Destro, but what you have to understand is even Bivol by fight night is 185 plus pounds. So while he may have outboxed him, that's still a much bigger body hitting you in the face with jabs, straights, combos to the body. Weight adds up when it's pushing against you. A punch still pushes you backwards. So again, you got to understand, Canelo, see, Terence Crawford is in his 4th weight class, okay? He started at 135.
Still looks strong and fought.
No, listen to me though, real fast. Just hear me out. Okay, we just saw him at 154, which is his 4th weight class, and the power that he's had, where he stopped like the last 11 opponents, didn't look the same. It already looked like this is a whole nother world, a whole nother division, because these guys are getting in the ring much bigger than the 147 guys. So his power already looked lesser than. His skills still look great, but his power didn't look the same. Here's what I'm about to tell you. Canelo started, he started 6 weight classes, well, 5 lower than 168. He started at 140. He went all the way up to 175. So he only started 1 class above where Terence did, and he's going up 6 to 175 and now back down 1 to 168. So you have to understand, Canelo has always fought guys who are way bigger than him, way bigger than him. And for the first time in a long time, when Canelo gets in there with Terence, he's going to be way bigger than Terence. And the problem
you're speaking on matter of facts about things. One thing about Canelo that you seem to forget or you haven't mentioned. I'm not saying you're biased against Bud or biased for Canelo, but you haven't mentioned that Canelo puts the weight stipulations on pretty much all the fighters he's fought. Canelo's not this big fighter that you're saying he is. He's not going to be 190 pounds. When has he been 190 pounds? When has he even looked remotely close? Even when his fights at 175 and the guys that he fought, all like those fights had weight stipulations to where those fighters could not gain a lot of weight and not rehydrate. That's not how Canelo. No. So a fight between Bud and Canelo, even if it's at 168 or at a catch weight, there's going to be weight stipulations. I doubt Canelo's going to come to the ring 190 and 180 like you're talking about. That's for the if that was the case, then Canelo would have beat Bivol, right?
Okay. No, because
how not? Because I'm gonna tell you why he didn't beat Bivol. Because Bivol didn't win because of his size, brother. He won because of his boxing skills and his movement, his lateral movement, sticking in movement, and not staying in the pocket for Canelo to hit.
Destro. Okay, so check this out real fast. How do I know he's going to be 190 pounds? Because when Canelo first went to 175 years ago and fought Kovalev, Oscar De La Hoya did an interview, and he said, when it comes fight night, I think y'all are going to be very surprised about their size difference because Canelo walks around 190 pounds. He literally said that when he fought Kovalev years ago, the first time he went up to 175. That is the only time in the upper weight classes.
And there was the weight stipulation versus Kovalev.
What?
We're not talking about walking around. We're talking about in shape, brother. When you in shape for the fight, not walking around.
Okay.
When you rehydrate, you don't. But what I'm saying is, brother, when you rehydrate, you don't.
I would still talk, and you keep interjecting. Then whenever I try to continue, you say, brother. I don't
because
interject.
Because you're not.
I'm trying to respond.
You don't rehydrate till you walk around. Wait, you rehydrate. That's not what you.
No. What you got to understand is, yes, it's somebody who boxed. What I'm telling you is, Canelo is always in shape. He's not a fucking Earl Spence Jr. that gets drunk on beer and blows up to 200 pounds and has to lose it off a fat camp. Canelo, when he's out of shape, is still in shape. Canelo out of shape still looks very muscular. Now, is he as ripped to the bone as he is on the scale? No, but he's always in very good shape. So when he's 190 pounds or 195 by now, he's always in very good shape. He doesn't let himself go to waste, just like Floyd Mayweather was always in shape. So again, you have to understand when he rehydrates, he's going to be pretty close, just like a Devin Haney, to what his walk around weight is, because that's just the nature of the beast. That's how the game goes. But my point that I'm trying to get to you is this. You say he's bad against slick boxers. Well, where was that against Billy Joe Saunders? He broke his face. Where was that against Caleb Plant, who's a slick boxer? He stopped him, knocked him out. The thing about it is this. Yes, Canelo has shown vulnerabilities to very mobile fighters. However, Canelo of recently, outside of Bivol, who was in his 6th weight class, is the only one that can outbox him and stay away from him.
That's not true. Because he's fought the other guys that have outboxed him. And you keep telling me about 190 and all this other shit. This fight, but
who has outboxed him recently?
Where's Canelo fight? What weight class is Canelo fighting at Saturday?
168.
Okay, so what makes you think that he's running? What makes you think that he's anywhere near remotely close to 190? You telling me about something that Oscar said when he fought when Canelo was fighting at 175, fighting a fighter that he put weight stipulations on.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
if he was this big old dude that you're saying, why would he put weight stipulations on Kovalev?
Because Kovalev can get over 200 pounds. That's why. Now, furthermore, you asked me how he does it. Let me ask you this: what weight class? No. Please answer the question.
200 pounds? You saying Kovalev? Kovalev is nowhere remotely rehydrating at 200 pounds when he fights at 175. At 175? So you mean to tell me after he rehydrates, he's 200 pounds? Man, stop.
There's actually, there was an interview where Fight Hype was talking to him, and he said he was about 205 to 210 when he was talking to them in between fights. So yes, out the motherfucker's mouth. That was way back when he was calling out Adonis Stevenson when they were trying to get that fight. Fight Hype was chasing him, and he did an interview saying he was around 205 to 210 because they asked him how much he weighed right then. So yes, he gets over 200 pounds. Furthermore, to answer your question, I'm going to answer it like this with apples to apples, two boxes. Okay. What weight class does Devin Haney fight at?
Right now, I think he's 140, but I think he's jumping to 147. So.
No. But he fights at 140.
His last fight was at 140, I believe.
Okay, how much did he weigh against Regis the night of the fight?
What they say, 165?
Yeah, 25 pounds he gained.
Was there any weight? We're talking about Canelo, the catchweight king, the motherfucker that even when you fight at that division, he puts weight stipulations to where you can't rehydrate like that.
Destro, answer me a question.
I like this conversation.
Answer me a question, Destro. Who has he put
You're not comparing apples to apples because you're talking about Canelo, brother.
I want you to answer this question for me.
I just asked it. You talking weight with the weight with the catchweight king. You trying to tell me 5'6", 5'5" Canelo is going to rehydrate to 190 versus? We're gonna see what he rehydrate to Saturday after the weigh-in. If he's 190, I jump off a cliff right now, my nigga.
They're not going to tell you. He does not do same-day weigh-ins. He refuses to. He will not let you know how much he weighs. He will not do it. So let me ask you this, okay? This is my question to you. If he is the catchweight king, when's the last time he did a catchweight?
I didn't say it's either he does the catch weight or he puts the weight stipulation to where you can't rehydrate. That's not a catch weight.
When's the last time he
did it? All his fights, bro. Pretty much all his fights has that now. The rehydration. Kovalev, Bivol, all his fights, even his fights at 168. Bro.
He did not. There was no rehydration clause on Bivol.
Bullshit, man. And also in the contract, the fighters, since you love to bring up, this fighter said this or this promoter said this, the fighters and promoters who the fighters who have fought him and the promoters who have promoted the fight have all said that even recently, but everyone from Eddie Hearns to all the fighters that he's fought, that's a part of it. You're gonna fight Canelo, you're gonna adhere to all his demands, and one of his demands, the rehydration clause.
Nope.
Whether it's available for the public to see or not, but when it comes to boxing, which is the most jankiest sport, even though we love it, the most jankiest sport, even with that, even with they're not gonna show you and show you and tell you everything. It's not for us to know that anyway. We just have to find out about it when people get exposed.
What people have to agree with, when they fight Canelo is the gloves, the ring size. He's gonna tell you what promotional company
everything, man.
No. As far as the rehydration clause, show me. You got Google. You can use it. Show me where he put a rehydration clause on Bivol because he did not. Show me at 168 where he's put one rehydration clause on any fighter because he has not. The last time he did it was against Kovalev. Since then, there's been no rehydration clauses. None. Zero.
How come when fighters are asked, is there a rehydration clause? These are the fighters at 168. The fighters say, I cannot answer that.
Show me an article. Show me an article.
I don't even show an article. The YouTube's on video. I'm not gonna do the research. This dude just told me go show him an article. What I get for showing you an article, bro? What I get, nigga? What I get a prize?
You know what I can say? You know what I can say? I can say Canelo tells all his opponents they could take steroids and it'll still beat them, but it's all bullshit unless I give you a receipt. So I'm asking you, what fighter said he couldn't reveal it? When did it happen? Who was the interview? You asked me about
all this fight. All this.
You asked me about Kovalev.
So, let's go down to
hold
this.
Hold on. You
Okay,
asked
go
me
ahead.
about Kovalev. I gave you the interviewer and the time period when he made the statement about being 205 to 210. You asked me about Canelo. I told you Oscar De La Hoya did it. In fact, you can go look on Boxing News 24, and they probably still have the article up where Oscar De La Hoya said he was 190 pounds before the Kovalev fight. So I'm giving you receipts. Now I'm asking you, show me since Kovalev where a fighter said there's a rehydration clause.
I guess I'm gonna have to go mute for a while so I can go dig and give you the so you could no, because it seems to be like, because I'll tell you what, you're right. Bud Crawford does not deserve the fight. Yeah, he shouldn't fight Canelo. There's no way Bud can win that fight, right? Bud doesn't have the skill set to win. Because I always thought it was skills over motherfucking size. Because if it was about size, then Canelo wouldn't be where he's at in his career. Because size-wise, he doesn't compare. He doesn't have the height, the reach, the length, or any of that shit to the fighters that he's defeated. But somehow he's defeated him. How has Canelo been able to defeat these opponents, brother? This is about size. This is about size and rehydration. And since and Canelo doesn't use rehydration clauses, how has Canelo been able to defeat all these opponents, knowing that he's shorter, 5'5", 5'6", has a short reach, right? And he ain't even knocking his opponents out anymore. I can't remember the last time he stopped somebody. It's been years. So tell me, how has Canelo been able to defeat these fighters? I'm gonna answer it for you because I'm gonna answer it. It's because the skill set, right?
Yeah, skills go along.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hold on. You asked me and then you paused, so now I'm responding.
No,
yes.
I want you to answer.
No. Skills does go along with it, but at the same time, in boxing, there's things called weight classes, not height classes. So it doesn't matter if you're 5'5" or if you're 5'2". It matters how much weight you have behind your ass. Now, your skills can go with your height, but ultimately you have the need of the weight behind it. If you don't think weight matters, then let's take a pound for pound.
No.
Hold on.
Because I'll tell you what, if you're faster than someone, if you're more athletic than your opponent,
finish my statement.
If you're more athletic than your opponent,
if you truly think skills pay the bills, then put Inouye in there with Tyson Fury and watch what the fuck happens.
So you're saying you're more skilled than Tyson Fury? How do we know that? What the fuck is you talking about, dog? And you're talking about a heavyweight.
I don't know. We definitely know
talking about a heavyweight.
Skilled.
Okay, what is the do heavyweights don't? There's no stipulation. Either you're a heavyweight or you're not.
Okay, fine. Then we'll
you chose a weight division once again. You chose
we'll pick a different weight class. I can pick any weight class.
No. You always want to backtrack when you say some shit.
No, I'm not backtracking.
Somebody else. This nigga just brought up the only way. Hold up. This nigga just brought up the only weight division where there is no stipulation.
Right.
You could be 270 pounds or you could be 210.
Right.
He brought up heavyweight to prove his point about skill.
I brought up heavyweight because you said.
You know what you just brought up? Skills do. You know what? You brought up heavyweight, right? Hold up. You brought heavyweight up, right? Hold up. I'm about to prove your point for you. I'm about to prove your point for you now.
You're scared of these cars in this parking lot.
I'm about to prove.
It's okay. We're not going to hit you with Paul.
You just brought up heavyweight, right? You just brought up heavyweight. You just brought up heavyweight and skill. You brought up skateweight
because you're terrified of it.
We're talking about.
You made the statement.
This nigga mad. This nigga brought up heavyweight. Meanwhile, who just beat Tyson Fury? Who just beat Tyson Fury? Who just beat Tyson Fury? A guy who was 40 pounds less than him, but more skilled.
Who cares?
Who came from a lower division? What you mean? Who cares, nigga? You brought up this shit.
Keep talking.
What are you talking about, man?
Okay.
Shout out to my guy.
Hold on. No. Here's what the fuck I'm talking about.
A nigga that just came from cruiserweight. A nigga that just came from
I'm gonna be
cruiserweight.
up here for like another 5 minutes, fellas.
He's terrified to let me speak.
No, nigga, you just brought up heavyweight and the fucking heavyweight, the undisputed heavyweight champion. The undisputed heavyweight champion is a nigga that came up from a much smaller.
Behind me. So here's the deal about it. If skills pay the bills, I use heavyweight for a reason, to make it that biggest weight gap as possible. But it doesn't matter. I don't have to go with heavyweight. I could go with any huge weight gap. Put fucking Inouye and then with Arthur Beterbiev and see what the fuck happens. Furthermore,
this nigga comparing Bud going up to fight Canelo to Inouye.
I'm not done.
Go ahead, nigga, you grasping at straws, nigga. Get out of here, man.
We're using how dumb your logic is. Furthermore, if you want to
talking, how's that dumb logic? You compare, this nigga comparing Monster and Inouye.
Because I'm gonna use your own logic against you.
How? You just brought up heavyweight.
We ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Heavier.
Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the $5. Shout out to the super chat. Anyways, furthermore, if weight did not matter, then tell me why the fuck Usyk had to gain 30 pounds to fight Tyson Fury. Why didn't he just stay cruiserweight weight?
Because he's not a cruiserweight. He's fighting at heavyweight, nigga.
But weight doesn't matter, so why should he gain weight?
Who said weight didn't matter at all? We talking about Bud Crawford going up to fight Canelo. You making it seem like, and then you brought up Monster anyway, going all the way up to fight some dude at a way bigger. It's not the same thing, brother. We just saw Bud Crawford. Hold up. We just saw Bud Crawford. Let me talk, please. You just saw Bud Crawford go up to his 4th weight division. He looked like the stronger guy. He landed the heavier punches to the point where.
Yo, your mic cut out.
Yo, his style, like the opponent, Madrimov, you go look at all his other fights, he's way more aggressive. He's wild. He throws big punches and all that. Bud shut all that shit down. This nigga sat there and fought to survive and go 12 rounds. You mean it? And you telling me that, Bud Crawford didn't look why? Because he didn't knock this guy out? I guarantee if this dude would have let his hands go more, we saw what Bud would have did to this nigga. Because he couldn't even handle it when Bud let his hands go. Bud was beating his body up most of the fight. You trying to use that as a barometer to say that he can't.
Your mic went out again. Even your mic doesn't believe what you're saying.
No, his mic cut out, but
bringing a good cook to the end of the show, man. Appreciate it.
So this is what I'm gonna rebuttal with.
We're gonna go off of styles, my nigga. We're gonna go off of styles. Canelo's not a puncher that throws a lot of punches. He's a slick fighter. Canelo's a slick counter puncher himself. What makes you think that Canelo's gonna throw a whole bunch of punches? Huh?
Oh,
like what makes
for the same reason. No. Wait, pause. This is where your logic falls.
This ain't no American shit.
The same reason why you said he had a hard fight with Israel, because Israel's a counterpuncher, Canelo's a counterpuncher. You said
hard fight.
His hands go the same because he was fighting a counterpuncher. He had to be the first one to initiate. Well, what the fuck do you think Canelo is? He's a counterpuncher that hits a lot harder, that's a lot more skilled, that's been in with a lot more talent. Israel only had 11 fucking fights, and he made Bud struggle with 11 fights. What the fuck is he gonna do?
He made Bud struggle. How you struggle when you win the fight 8-4? That's when you know you got haters, my nigga. That's when you know you got haters. This nigga said Bud struggle. This nigga Bud struggle. No, Virgil Ortiz struggled this weekend. This weekend, Virgil Ortiz struggled. You trying to compare that to Bud Crawford? That's not fucking struggling.
What are you talking about?
Hold up, a nigga. Wait, how's that struggling? A nigga that.
When you have, there goes your mic again. Your mic doesn't even believe you once again. Yeah. Listen to your mic.
I think, you know what? My mic, it's not my mic.
Mic is trying to protect you. It's like stay back, fall back, be quiet. It's not foolish. So let me tell you something.
This nigga compared Monster anyway. This nigga compared Monster anyway.
A tough fight.
Go ahead. Drown me out. Talk like.
Go ahead. No.
It's like arguing with a basketball wife. It's like it's like arguing with a basketball wife. Nigga, this ain't VH1. What are you doing? Let a nigga talk. You mad because you getting served, nigga. You mad because you getting served.
Please stop. I can't take
you a hater, bro. How does it feel to be a hater, bro?
I'm giving you facts, and you're a fan girl.
Nigga said Bud struggled. Bud struggled because he didn't knock him out. Bud struggled because he didn't knock him out. Hold up. Bud struggled because he didn't knock him out, right? Bud struggled. Wait a minute.
You're gonna understand.
Bud struggled because he didn't knock Madrimov out, right? So I guess Canelo been struggling for his last 6 fights, nigga. For the last time Canelo knocked anybody out.
Nobody cares about knockouts. Only you care about knockouts. Nobody else does.
Well, what are you talking about then? A fighter, hold up. A fight.
No, I'm not holding
How the
up.
fuck did
I
he
can't even
struggle
talk
then?
without you talking
A
with
fighter,
me.
well, he
It's like
landed
I'm
more.
walking.
Well, he
I'm
landed
walking
the
the dog
bigger
right now.
punches.
You just walk
He
to the
hurt
side
his
and talking
opponent.
with me.
He landed the bigger punches.
It's like
He
we went
hurt
to
his
school together.
opponent.
You just hanging out. We walking down the street. We talking. I can't even get a word without you talking. But this is
Go
what
ahead,
I'm gonna tell
basketball
you.
wife. Go ahead,
You
basketball wife.
know,
Go ahead, say what you got to say.
you know it's a hard fight. You know it's a
Go
hard
ahead,
fight.
Go ahead,
You
Becky.
know
With the
it's
good
a
hair.
hard
Go ahead,
fight.
bro. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get this one statement out. You know it's a hard fight when people argue about who's the winner. People are arguing about who the winner was with Crawford. I thought Crawford won, but they're still arguing about it, which means it was a hard fight. If people can argue about who won,
Nigga,
it wasn't
people can
easy.
argue about what they want, nigga. People can argue about what they want. Just because Bud didn't knock this nigga out, that gives them room to be able to speak and say and do what you doing because you're a hater.
Yeah, man, somebody called Dean. That's my guy, too.
The
Dean,
fuck out of here,
man.
man.
Shout out to him. Hey, man, big shout out to my brother Cal Cooler in that Cash App, man. Always supporting the channel in a big way. Much love, Cal. Much love.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Yeah, shout out to
Nigga
you,
said
bro.
Bud struggle, man. Sorry
Man,
about
I
that.
always appreciate it. Nah, I just be wanting people to listen. Like, it's a little verbal sparring. Like, boxing does that. These dudes, like, they clearly love boxing. That's what I hear, man. They ain't, it get like that sometimes, but it ain't go left.
Oh, no, it's all good. I got
boxing does that to all of it. Tony Reviews done had his number of battles, man. He's shying away from no boxing conversation.
Well, guess what? That nigga just died on his heel today. I'll tell you that.
I think your mic died on you, and you lost because of that.
And I appreciate
it. Sounded like to me your mic cord was strangling you. It was like, please stop talking,
man. This was fun. I just be wanting people in the chat. Don't think that it's like it's a I ain't gotta mediate everything. They love to the good brothers, man. I like to hear the different because I'm laid back as it comes. It's cool to hear a little passionate conversation from time to time, bro. So good boxing does that. That's why I love this sport, bro. I'm telling you, only boxing do this to us, bro.
Yeah, but get the juice on, right?
You feel it too. Boxing is like that. You gotta love it, bro. Salute to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all closing out the end of the show. My girl over there talking about don't end it. Listen to you. Don't end it. It's always a good conversation with the fan, man. Another dope build in the books too, man. Yeah, man. Y'all shout out to Destro and Tony Reviews. I'm not a right or wrong person. I'm big on like logic and reason, right? And I like people that just make solid points. I like information. So the difference of perspectives is always going to be welcome over here, bro. Like I like to hear the difference in the two. And y'all two would be perfect for the show, I swear. You know what I mean? Y'all two is perfect.
Come on, Skip.
Come on, Skip.
Salute to it. Yeah, you know what I mean? No name calling, right? They ain't go left with each other. That's why I said little heated, you know what I mean?
I call him a hater. I did call him a hater. That nigga Bud hater for we got
it. Y'all funny, man.
The nigga don't want to see Bud fight Canelo and be like, oh,
no. Listen to me. I called you a fangirl, also, but I'll say this. I want to see the fight because after it happens, I'm gonna be collecting tears from people like you because it's gonna go down like I said it would. He's going to be dominated.
I'm not gonna cry. I would like to see that fight. That's the two biggest names.
I mean,
it's the two biggest names. That'd be a good fight to go to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that. I think he gonna put up more of a fight, or he gonna die on his shield. Not like Jermel. I mean, like I feel like if Bud go up, he gonna try to win. As opposed to the Canelo sweepstakes. Like we know Berlanga gonna get knocked.
If Bud get in there, he gonna try to win for sure. And that's also what makes me nervous too.
I don't disagree. He's going to try to win, and he's going to get put down. Like he's going. And here's the thing about it. Here's the thing. You got to understand. I already see what's going to happen. You just don't see.
Oh yeah, because you know.
Listen to me. No, you don't even know where I'm going. You don't even know where the fuck I'm going.
Nigga, you going to the morgue because you dead.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Terence Crawford is going to get knocked out by Canelo. And right after it happens, you're going to see Mayweather come out of nowhere talking about, see, this is why I'm the greatest ever. I'm the TBE. I beat Canelo and I made it look easy. Y'all thought Crawford was good. Y'all thought Crawford could fight me. And he got knocked out by him. He's going to come out the very second he loses. Watch.
I ain't gonna lie, I can see that last part, Tony. I can see.
Terence, I take nothing away from him. He's a hell of a champion, but he couldn't beat the guy that I beat. I made it look easy.
I can see that. But look, I'm with Destro. I got mixed feelings. I'm not calling for this fight because of the weight jump and the age discrepancy, right? I get it. Like certain challenges you just don't need to take. late, especially late in your career. But the only reason I would be with it is because the kind of fighter that Bud Crawford showed me he is, right? Win, lose, or draw, if he get in the ring, he gonna definitely try to win. That's good enough for me, but I don't want to see a handicap setup match. You get what I'm trying to say? I get it due to a lot of credit. And look, if it's anybody that got a chance being a smaller guy trying to make a miracle, it will be him. But I still think it's a tall ask. It's an uphill battle. And like I said, it's the closest thing in boxing to a handicap match. It reminds me of wrestling. Like, just too much got to go right for you to win. It's one of them situations. It's just tough. Like, but I just don't want to see him give up his reputation that way. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody gonna be worried about if he dared to be great. They just gonna focus on the result. And if it is that he lost, you already know how they're gonna talk about him. Just look how they did Charlo. Shout out to my guy NHA, man. He said, ask the Canelo fanboy why after technically losing the Lara, Canelo stayed away from certain skill slick boxers like Prime, Maul, and Boo Boo.
And we never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these, but now it's time for you to get your just.
Oh, for sure, Bud will win. I feel like if there's anybody that could jump up in weight, I feel like Bud has the skill set. He showed that he could take a punch at 154. He didn't seem weak at 154.
Not at all.
Just because he didn't knock him out, don't you know what I'm saying? That's gonna happen. To me, 154. It's been the murderer's row for a while now.
Right.
So ain't nobody going unscathed, man. And even the great Floyd Mayweather.
And I'm with you. You optimistic and you got faith in Bud. I do too. But and it's like I'll support whatever it is he doing because I know he gonna give it. He gonna give it everything if he getting in there. But
it ain't even just that. Like we done seen, brother. Like this is boxing, so we've seen shit like this. Like if you go to the history, we've seen like the best of the best. They go up in weight.
You know what's crazy? I heard and I'll be listening to the channels. I like to listen to people that I feel like don't push narratives, so I gotta shout them out on this one. Shout out to Showbiz, the adult man. I was listening there earlier. I heard him suggest something, and it was very fucking interesting. I ain't gonna lie. He had suggested. Because you know how the rematch didn't happen at 47. You know how that never happened. So he suggested, Boots got that IBF. You fight him, become undisputed again. You get what I'm saying? Then you let Earl and Fundora fight. Whoever fight, winner of that, say Earl would have won that fight. And then or whoever, it don't even matter. He could potentially sew up that division as well. That's just something to think about. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, see,
you could have fought Boots for the opportunity to be undisputed again, and
but
147, and then waited around. You know what I mean? It's just something that he suggested. I heard him say, I was like, damn, that's a lot of accomplishing some shit without sitting around. That's different.
That's true. That's true. But I don't know. I feel like no, I get what you're saying. I feel like this is just my opinion. Like I said, it's just a feeling. We got to factor in his age and how Bud's like he really can't wait around like that. He can't do the I'm gonna fight once a year shit. But what I was saying is it might be better for him to fight again at 154. I don't think it'd be smart for him to back down the weight and then try to jump up and fight Canelo. I feel
now
like
that he's here, it's over with now. No.
Yeah. I feel like Bud should. I think at the very least, because I think Bud should fight Canelo at a catch weight. Because I don't give a fuck about the belts and shit at this point. This nigga Bud about to be 37 next month. It don't make any sense for him to. In other words, what would be better? What would be better? A victory over Canelo, knowing these are the two most accomplished fighters of this era. And they're close enough in weight to where they can make the fight happen, even with like a weight stipulation or whatever.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
My God.
Right. I would rather that or him cleaning out 154. If this nigga beat Fundora, it's not like niggas gonna be like, oh, that was a better victory than if you fight Canelo and beat him, or if you just fight Canelo, it's gonna be a big event. You could take your girl to it or whatever. It's a big event. You could be like, yo, you could go look back at it 20 years from now. Yo, I was at that fight. That was the great fight of our era. Like niggas ain't gonna be like, yo, I was at the Fundora Bud fight. Like look at Grandpa at the Fundora versus Bud fight. Nah, nigga gonna be like, oh, you fought Canelo? Look at Grandpa fighting Canelo. It's just a bigger event. It's a bigger event. There's more at stake. It's just a bigger fight, bro. And it's doable. Man.
Well, I say low key, man. Him and EJ might need each other if they looking for another big payday. I swear. And Bud need to be rooting on EJ right now to beat Fundora.
What he did to EJ, bro?
There it go.
What he already did to EJ. I don't think EJ ever fight again, bro. I don't think.
You don't think they ever fight again?
I'm gonna get this real fast. Just let me hop in real fast.
Here we go.
There's no way in hell Canelo would ever meet Terence Crawford at a catch weight.
Nah, he said it already.
You know this forever. You know this. What if the money's right though, bro?
Yeah. Here's the problem.
You don't want this nigga to fight.
No. Listen to me. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of money that Canelo is going to take a catch weight for. First off and foremost,
nigga, do you what? You know Canelo? You know this for a fact? How do you know this?
He's already said out of his mouth that he will not go to a catch weight. And he's also said out of his mouth, even to make the fight happen, Turkey's got to offer $150 million. Like literally, it's come out of his mouth.
Secondly, shout out to my bro, man.
Secondly, anybody promoting this, they're going to have to bend to the knee to Canelo because Canelo is the one that's going to bring all the pay-per-view buys. He's going to be the one to bring all the fans to the stadium. All the money follows Canelo, not Terence. He just had a pay-per-view flop with Israel. Even the stadium was a flop. So when you look at marketability in business, there's nothing that can hold to Canelo. Canelo has all the cards.
I mean, who said that Bud was the A side or anything like that? What I'm saying is, what opponent? So what Berlanga is? So Berlanga versus
I get where you going with it.
No, yeah, what I'm saying is, so who is my nigga? So
I get it.
If not Bud, who is? Who's the popular American fighter? Right. Who's gonna be the big fighter?
What's the bigger minute, fellas? Let me shout out.
No, I'm not. I'm saying, what's the bigger fight than Bud versus Canelo? As far as just magnitude.
But now it's time for you to get your just due.
Bigger fight, Bud versus Canelo, or what? Name a bigger fight than Bud versus Canelo.
Benavidez.
Appreciate you, GP.
No, bro. Not when it comes to money. Not when it comes to bro.
Yeah.
Man, so you say Benavidez by himself is like, you feel like Benavidez is selling out stadiums or whatever? I don't think
Benavidez versus Canelo would be marketed as a bigger fight, and also if they did a rematch.
No, man.
Hold on. Also if they did a rematch with Beeble.
This nigga a hater for real.
Beeble Canelo rematch would be bigger than Canelo Terence. And then I honestly,
this nigga a hater for real, bro.
How am I a hater? Bud doesn't sell no tickets.
No, hold up. Bud doesn't sell no tickets, but Benavidez does, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You don't even see how you a hater, nigga. Just like that movie,
that fighter do some numbers though.
I'm a hater because I'm speaking facts. Every fight.
So who is? So what's the big fight? Who's the big money guy? Who's the big money guy? Who's the big money guy that's bigger?
Can I speak? Canelo is the big money guy, period.
What did I just say? But I'm talking about his opponent. I'm talking about his opponent, bro.
Can I finish? Thank you.
Nigga, you been finished. I've been done, you nigga. You done.
Here's your problem with Bud. Every fight outside of the Spence fight, every fight Bud has done, it has lost fucking money.
Yeah. What?
I mean, that's the story out there on.
I don't remember, and I've been following boxing.
Backyard barbecue. Shout out to y'all, man. I know it get heated, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me, man, all the way to the end. Hey, look, we gonna do this again, man. Same time tomorrow, 4 p.m., man. Shout out to Tony Reviews and Destro, man. Y'all could go, and y'all always welcome up to come build.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
G Peasy, Cal Cool, appreciate y'all good brothers in the Cash App, man, as always, man. Yeah, it's always a good conversation. And why I let people, because we men, right? I don't feel like nobody's threatening each other. It get a little heated like that. It's back and forth. It's boxing. It's healthy. Like, I'm always laid back. So, to let them kind of cook, man, is something different to hear, a different perspective. So I like it, man. Shout out to both of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming up to build with your boy.
No doubt, brother.
Hey, look, I appreciate it. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, man. We dropping a link again. We gonna build, man. I think a lot of these conversations need to be had, and I want to hear from the people too. So y'all bring some different Tony views. You already know you've been here.
You already know, and I appreciate you letting me on. And you already know I fear no man because in the YTV, I'm the biggest. Hey, bro. If I come on the YTVC, all the way from your Drew Titans to whoever, I am the biggest dude that streams on here.
Yeah,
wait, guys.
Tim Layton, my guy. See
y'all have a good night.
Good night, Tony, bro. You're a walking coffin, bro. You're a walking coffin.
It get a little heated, but I can tell they got respect. They just on two separate sides, and they just want to talk to boxing. So it's fun. It's fun. I like to hear that, man.
Just on my way out. Can I say one thing before I'm gonna go ahead and get off the panel? Sure. I appreciate you letting me on, brother. A lot of channels don't even allow motherfuckers to come on and be able to speak or retort or even bring their own, their own personal view on boxing.
You
Like,
bring it, man. Whatever, even if it's different than what I'm saying, I don't care because somebody in the chat might not want to click the link and might like what you saying. So y'all always welcome to come up. I'm not a right or wrong dude, so and I don't
that's it. Because life ain't white or black. That's always
and
great.
I don't disagree. Agreeing to disagree is played out. It's about letting people speak their piece. If I respect you enough to talk boxing with you, I don't got to keep disagreeing with everything you say. I just let you cook with me, and we just rock out.
I just find it. My thing that I wanted to say.
That's right. I just want to respond to you. I want to say.
Damn, bro.
No.
Okay,
I'm trying to respond to you. You called me.
You got cooked. Look at you. You're still simmering.
Listen to me. I'm trying to agree with you.
This nigga still simmering. I'm cooking. You still simmering. Go ahead. Listen to me.
You
my nigga. I fuck with you, Tony, bro. You good shit. Go ahead.
I'm trying to give you props. You're right. I am a coffin. Cause I grab your ass, clothes on you, and your life would end.
Nah, nigga, you a walking coffin because you dead and I murdered you earlier.
No. Cause I close on your ass and you would be dead when I do. But it's all good. Good debate. Y'all have a good night. Destro, I'll catch you next time.
I just want to say this little quick shit. Yo, let me get this off, bro, before I get off. I want to say this. It's hard for me to think that you not compromised. I'm not talking to Tony. I'm talking to anybody. If you are an American, especially, and you're not a Mexican American, but you are an American and you're a boxing fan, all right? And you're talking about a guy like Bud Crawford and Canelo, who both have been on the top of the pound for pound list the whole time, and they're close enough in weight to where this fight could happen, whether it's with a catch weight or if Bud got enough cojones to jump up and wait and fight this nigga at 168 with whatever stipulation or whatever. If you're making excuses for why that fight shouldn't happen, then it means you're compromised, and it's hard for me to understand how you're a true boxing fan knowing this is a part of boxing. All right. Now I can understand this coming from a Mexican who don't want to see Canelo fight Bud because they know that Bud has the skill set and know that Bud is talented enough, even at this age, and may be able to pull this shit off. That's one thing. All right. Those are the same motherfuckers that want Bud to fight Tio. They want Bud to fight Tio, but they can't entertain the fact that Canelo could possibly fight Bud. So they want Bud to fight somebody small, much smaller, jumping up multiple weight classes, but they don't want Bud to do that with Canelo. Right. See, that's a Mexican angle. It's very disturbing when it's your own people, when motherfuckers that look like you, all right, knowing that black fighters got all these different things. Oh, we don't sell. We're not this. We're going to run. We're going to do all this shit. All right. These are the same motherfuckers that was sitting there complaining and making excuses when Canelo supposedly ran from Triple G in the first fight. All right. We're talking about logic and we're talking about facts here. All right. So if you that compromised, brother, to sit here and be like, nah, Bud shouldn't fight Canelo, he gonna get knocked out. No, you want Canelo to get knocked out. I mean, you want Bud to get knocked out. That's not the case. If that is the case, let Bud go out on his shield. This man been fighting all this time. He's been getting ducked most of his fucking career. They're already blackballing him at 154. He should have fought Fundora. He should have jumped up and wait for the WBO mandatory and fight Fundora. But Fundora was like, nah, I'm not fighting you. Like he's like, no, I'm not fighting. I'm gonna fight Spence. He won't fight the guy coming off a loss, a devastating loss. He'd rather fight Spence than to fight Bud. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same shit going on. And now we're making more excuses for a guy that Bud could possibly fight. The biggest fight in boxing is Bud versus Canelo. And it's the same shit all over again when it was Bud versus Spence.
Definitely interesting for sure.
Motherfuckers come on with excuses, right? I'll tell you what, if you really don't like Bud like that, well, you would love to see him get knocked out by Canelo. So why wouldn't you want to see the fight?
I feel that.
When you want to see this nigga get knocked out?
My 5-minute closing statement uninterrupted.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all stay up. That was the walking coffin. That's the talking coffin right there.
The talking coffin. Appreciate you, Dash.
All right, Tony, man. But stay up, bro. That was a good debate. I'll drag you any day of the week. Have a good one, brother.
Shout out to my bro Seawood in that Cash App, man. Oil for the pan, that's love.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
All right, so now I'm gonna go on my 5-minute rant real fast, uninterrupted. If that's okay. My closing is this. First off, his name
still
is
cooking. Look at him.
There you go. Look, I can't even get my 5 minutes.
That's my nigga. I fuck with you, Tony. Go ahead, bro.
Look. First off, I just want to say for everybody to look at his name. His name is Destroyed. So you know he got destroyed.
No, it's not. My name's Destro. My name's Destro, not Destroyed.
Destroyed. Destro is short for destroyed.
Look, see what I mean? This nigga know everything, but he always wrong. You see this shit?
No. But anyways, here's what I'm gonna say in what you said. I look at it like this. Boxing, I don't play the race of ticks. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you're rich or poor. I don't care if you're big or fat, or that's kind of the same. Fat or skinny. I don't care if you're white, black, Cuban, or Asian. I like people off their skill set. So when I look at fighters, I don't do it off of, do they look like me? Do they look like somebody else? Am I going to be more biased to this one? Because when you step into them rings, in between them ropes, nothing else matters. It's you versus that other man, period. Everything else goes out the fucking window. Nothing else can save you. Not your money, not your race, not your friends. You're there on your own. That's it. So when I look at a fight, I dissect it by the two fighters and how I see it going. Do I want to see Bud get a final payday? Yeah, I would love for him to make $40, $50 million. But do believe that I have enough sense to say he's going to end up on the canvas. He's going to sell his own. And Mayweather is going to come off talking that shit after he gets beat. I already know what's going to happen. Do I want to stop the fight? No. But if you're asking me, am I going to be honest about who I think is going to win the fight? It's Canelo. I've seen enough. As far as pound for pound goes, I've had Terence Crawford number one since they tried to say Lomachenko was number one. And it was funny because even Lomachenko was saying he wasn't number one, that Terence was better than him. And time showed that Terence was. So I got all the respect in the world for Bud. But if you're going to put Bud up 14 pounds in a weight class that he's never been in, and at 154, he did not look that dominant in his first fight against a guy with only 11 fights, and you think he's going to beat Canelo, my boxing brain tells me the likelihoods of that happening is slim to none. Could it happen? There's a slim chance, but what's plausible is he gets beat up bad. But on that note, I'm out. Thank y'all for letting me on. Again, Destro, I appreciate debating with you. I like the name. Destroyed. So I'll see you next time.
Salute that R Stokes. Salute to you. Salute to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all sticking with me in this long live, man. Y'all already know the time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back tomorrow to build in this boxing. And y'all know we're going to be dropping the link, man. And again, shout out to everybody that came up to build with me. Shout out to Destro. You got a channel, bro?
No, brother. Actually, I don't. But I love boxing. And you'll be surprised, man. You just don't know, bro. Like how many people, whether we at work, we in a warehouse on a forklift, we working at the chemical plant or wherever we at, we got the fucking earbuds in, we listening to y'all, man. Even when we at work.
Hey man, well let the good, if you know some more boxing fans, point them to the right direction, man. You know
where I will, most definitely, bro.
Good boxing talk. Appreciate you, family.
And don't be afraid, y'all. Don't be afraid to see that fight, man.
You already know,
if Bud go down on the shield, let him go down on the shield. But at the end of the day, I don't even think it'll be that, bro. I feel like Bud is superior athletic. He can stick and move. All right, he can stick and move, and he's superior. Canelo is a flat-footed fighter. Right. This motherfucker be in the ring with 2 knee braces on. Let's not act like Canelo is some dude that's just go run you down. That's not his style.
True.
You know, but I appreciate you, but you never know, bro. There's weight classes for a reason, but Bud did not look bad to me. It's just 154 is a strong division. Ask Canelo. I'll holler at y'all later, man. I appreciate that, Just. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. Peace, man.
Sure. Peace, family. And much love to everybody in the building, man. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all good Tuesday. And we back tomorrow to build on this good boxing. So with that, we're going to close out with the intro. Much love, much appreciation. And I will see y'all all tomorrow. Peace to the fam.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Just Do shine, busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme's sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Just Do boxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Just Do. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.